Adam gets on with that, and Luca's a little bit taller as well, so...
Yeah, and then you get someone like Sam Abazu, who's on the shorter side of things. He's going to have to go a long way up to those pitches.
And Mejdi as well. Like.
Yeah, but Mejdi is the bounciest human I think I've seen in a long time. He's so springy. And Max Milne, who's a GB team member, he trains a lot with Mejdi. They've got a similar style. They're very springy.
Yeah, very springy. They do a lot of playing around with movement, jumping around. So can I jump over there to that? Or can I spin around and jump to that? It's a pretty cool Instagram if you want to check that out.
It is indeed, yeah. You see some spectacular moves.
Max the future.
Max the future, exactly. There's no ego in there. That's somebody genuinely is, probably. Didn't make it through to this combined final, though, unfortunately. Now, let's talk about how they got through to this far, because earlier on in the week we saw the individual boulder and lead. The results, their position was times together, and the top 8 have moved through, sorry, added together.
Points from their positions were added together, so it's allocated 1,000 points for a win. Down to 80th place, I think, off the top of my head. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but...
So you had to score fairly well in both events to get this far?
Yeah, you had to be pretty much top 10 in both events, which is a pretty hard ask.
Yeah, it is. We've got some of the world's best here. You can see boulder number 3 now. Dave, both of us, we thought this is complicated and long.
Yeah, there's a lot of holds on this boulder problem. Most of them are just blocking bits of other holds, so I'm sure when you're stood on the mat, it's a little bit more apparent what you do, and these guys train on this sort of stuff. They live for this, and kind of complex sequences they'll love.
Yeah, and it is complicated, as you can see. And the black on black doesn't help to sort of define things.
No, you just got to look for the white bits and hope you hit the good bit.
Yeah, the white bits are chalk, and obviously the athletes haven't touched it at this stage, but the chalk is placed there by the route setters to give them a few hints and also just improve the grip.
Yeah, it's also left over for them testing the problem to make sure that it works, and it's not just thrown up in hope. Although sometimes people do wonder if it was.
Yeah, the route setters do work hard for this. Do spare a thought to them, because imagine setting all those individual events and then having to set all these combined boulders as well. It is tricky.
Yeah, it's intense on the skin. As a route setter in the UK myself, it's a hard job.
Yeah, it is indeed. And it starts down low, this one. You can see those blue lines going to the first hole. There, each line indicates a limb, and therefore all 4 limbs. You can see Philip there. He's not allowed to totally sit on that thing, but he's going to have all 4 off the ground, sort of squatting down on that hole.
Like a Munich gargoyle on there.
That's a very good point, though. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. So there'll be a statue at the bottom of the wall, then they have to spring out, press into that first set of volumes, and then somehow spin and continue upwards.
So I think we're going to see a good fight on this. I think I don't think they'll have a very good idea of exactly what they're going to do, so there'll be a lot of figuring out exactly where they are on the boulder. And hopefully see from a few tops dropped and figuring out exactly what they do and then actually doing it.
This is going to be one of the separators, I think, for this. And then finally, boulder number 4. It's actually meant to be one of the harder ones. So difficulty is not all overhanging thuggy boulders. Sometimes it's sort of slow moves, precision and coordination. There's a bit of coordination in this problem.
Yeah, this is kind of precise coordination. Again, it's finding that right body position at the end of the dynamic movement. So the initial movement is quite fast, but then you have to slow it right down at the end of the movement to kind of give you time to grab the holds.
And you can see the top there. That's the 25-point final scoring opportunity. The athletes have to match that with both of their hands in a controlled manner. You can't just slap for it. You've got to stay there for a couple of seconds.
As you can see, the top of that hold is completely untextured, so they're only pushing into the bottom of that hold.
Very physical move. It was one of the ones that route setters were tweaking right up to the last minutes before we started here. They were slightly concerned that you might be able to static the end, which would have ruined their evil plans. So we'll have to see whether that's worked or not. Time will tell on that one. It is the final boulder. See Alberto Lopez there discussing with Mejdi what he thinks the end is going to look like. Air climbing.
Yeah. These are the dance moves from the after party later, I think.
I hope not. Rubbish if that's the case. So the European champs, we're almost time to be underway in the final climbing competition. And what a week it's been. We've had speed, lead, Boulder, all in individual events, and now it is time for this format. And different from Tokyo, where we had 3 events combined, so speed as well. Speed now has got its own medal for the Olympics, and that's changed things for the athletes, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's opened it up quite a lot. I think the Boulder and lead athletes found it very difficult to switch to speed, and vice versa, the speed athletes into Boulder and lead. The Boulder and lead are quite similar in terms of training. Obviously, Boulder's got a bit more of the coordinate moves and the jumping around, but in terms of the energy systems, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, you suddenly saw sort of Boulder and lead climbers who aren't always the most muscled individuals trying to get those legs from the speed climbers and the shoulders. It's a pretty big ask.
What time is it now?
Right, so this is a view we don't usually get to see during IFSC World Cups, right backstage in the isolation area. And it's so fascinating to me to see what they're doing. Like Andra, he's having a protein bar.
Just having a snack.
Yeah, he looks pretty chilled out. Jakub seems to still, and Nikolai, they're all talking still about the beta.
Yeah, obviously it's been like, 8 minutes since they looked at the first boulder, so they're trying to kind of re-remember what they're doing and just making sure. You see they're still kind of collaborating and
figuring it out. In fact, this is the most, the women, they were far more separate. It was quite interesting. Some went... So let's see if we can hear what they're saying.
Because I feel like it's quite easy to do, yeah, but maybe like to release starting the move to the second one is not that easy.
And match, and maybe what do you use this one to put your
probably to stop the move.
Yeah.
How do you do the third boulder from the first zone? Do you know?
I think not facing the crowd, just like
this, and then press, and then to this boulder.
Yeah. And when you're on the ball, there is.
Yeah, I mean,
this one is really
judged.
Super huge, at the top.
But I think it's really hard to get.
Yeah, the meeting starts to break up a little bit here.
Like coming here,
yeah, and go out, put the feet, go here, here.
Because I think you take on zone.
it looks like they're discussing the second boulder.
Yeah, like you take like to the south,
and then you have
here,
turn.
you something.
Just press these two. Somehow keep the foot to the right.
I think you can foot jump in the plastic one. Come here, take a step over there. Take this one again. Press here.
I got
Well, there we go. Some insights from the athletes there as they get ready to go and compete. Well, this is our top 8. Majdi Shank qualified in last position due to his rankings, so he'll climb first. Andra, he won the lead, third in the boulder, so he's got the most score. He will come out last onto our stage. And look, it's hard to obviously talk about a favourite in this, especially with the men's comp, because it is a lot more open than the women's, where I think Janja was definitely the favourite in that one. Who do you think is going to take this, just on paper, by looking at that list?
Paper, it's got to be down between Adam and Jakub. Like, I think if Jakub holds his boulders together, which I think looking at the set he should get on pretty well with. He's quite good at having a battle.
So we could see some of the veterans taking victory instead of the young guns, which would be good to see.
Shank looked really good in kind of lead and boulder. I think it's about dark horse for the podium, I think.
Well, there we go, that's Dave's predictions. I've got to agree with him, to be honest. I mean, look, it's hard to see past Andra as well. I mean, he's also so experienced at these big multi-sport events. You know, he's been to the Olympics, been to multiple world championships. I mean, who would forget him winning in Paris in 2016?
Yeah, he's got an extra gear for sure for these things, as is Jakub, so it's going to be a really good fight, I think.
Right, so we're almost underway here. Majdi will be out first, and you can see him just nervously pacing back and forth here.
I'd be interested to see how much his skin has recovered, because it was in absolute tatters after the boulder final.
Well, we'll try to catch that on camera if we can. He has had a couple of days off to regrow some of that.
It's such a big factor in climbing comp skin. People look at you like you're an alien when you say it, and because it's like trying to drive a Formula 1 car on banana skins.
That's a great analogy. All right, so we get our first look at boulder number 1. Now you can see each limb on one of those blue holds.
So you have to control the start position, and then so you see his body isn't moving. So
there we we go. He's controlled underway. The judges will stop him if they don't think he's begun in the correct way. An awkward beginning this, pushing up using heels and toes to try to get stood up on that initial volume. Puts that left foot backwards, and now he has to be slow up to this zone, which is dual text.
No texted.
No text, yeah, no text.
Yeah, so he's got a little balance, possibly a little coordination move, to plant the foot across.
Right, so once he's in, he then needs to sort of jump, hop to the left. And coordination, I mean, look, surely it's all coordination, so how is this a different kind of a move?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, actually. It's, I guess any time that, like, 3 or more points will kind of leave the wall, you're kind of, and you've got to reconnect with the wall very quickly, then.
So it's limbs moving in different directions.
That's what we would call a coordination move, I guess. But yes, you're right. I guess any move where you're going slightly fast has an element of coordination.
Yeah, it's hard to be uncoordinated and be a pro climber. They are so talented. And remember, we're not only watching the world's best, but these boulders are very difficult, really tricky, and it's the time that plays such an important factor. And you can see it ticking away on the right-hand corner. The athletes only have 4 minutes to try to work out the sequence for these climbs. And Medji, let's see if he can do the second time.
So he's decided not to use that first zone hold at all now. He decided it was hindering his progress more than anything. But once you've held it once, then that's it, you have the zone. So.
Yeah, and you can see the 5.9, that's because he has 6 points and -1 for the failed attempt, and now that will change to 24.9, so a top, which is worth 25, -0.1. Great work from Medji.
That's a great start from him. That looks like a boulder that's very hard to do first go.
Yeah, it is, and it's interesting when that happens because it's hard to do first go, but you kind of need to get it as quickly as possible and lock that movement in, especially if we know that you can do it second go. Let's watch this. This was a successful attempt. The hop, the little flick back with the leg.
Yeah, just to kill that rotation out of there.
And the heel hooks in, stands up into that 25 points. So good work from Medji. And that will just settle him down a little bit, won't it? Hopefully,
a little bit.
A little bit.
As settled as Medji gets.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he'll be really fired up for this.
So,
Sam Abazu. Spit my words out.
Yeah, and Sam Abazu has had a very, very good competition at the moment as well. Although he was only 23rd in the lead, he was second in the boulder comp and is such a powerful, strong climber and good at these style of moves.
You'll be right, he's won a lot of youth comps, I think. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been kicking around on the youth scene for a while, starting to move into the senior circuit this year, especially in the boulder. But yeah, I mean, he won the Continental Cup in Austria. So he's used to winning, and he's just making this transition into the senior circuit and doing well at the moment. So he's pushing up with that left hand, palms down. And it's blind for the foot, using the knee.
And again, the sides of these volumes that he's stood on are all no textured, so there's nothing to help him get up. It's all leg power on there, leg and hip.
So he's been awarded the zone already. He can now ignore that, move on. Kicks, and he does do this move first time. So if he can finish this off, he's going to be jumping above Medji Shalk's score straight away. But
this is a different method to Medji.
He's creeping
a bit of fingernail under the edge of the hold there.
Oh. The route setter said to me that they hope they don't find an edge. Well, I think an edge has been found. So Sam Abazu, and you can see his score of 25, no falls, and therefore is the perfect score. The full 25 points for him, and a perfect start to his boulder competition. So a jump over the left, a flick with the right leg to halt that swing. And then look at this, right underneath. Oh, his fingernail.
Thumbnail underneath the hold.
Oh.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, true. Oh, yeah, both of us cringing here in the commentary box. Well, Philip Shenk is our next athlete out. So Italy, get your supporters clapping here as he comes out. Has a little look over, turns, and he just rereads this boulder has been a while since he's seen it.
Yeah, he'll want to take a little deep breath before he pulls onto this as well, just calm the nerves.
And talking about pressure, as we go on, he will have known that the other athletes have topped it out by the crowd sounds. So,
And also the fact that they come back in quickly.
yeah, they didn't use the full 4 minutes. So the pressure is on, and it will carry on increasing for the other athletes if Philip manages to do it as well. So although there's no texture on it, you don't really need to pull on it. It's just touching. But that left foot
Just helps you balance just a little bit.
skated down that slippery surface with that left foot.
I suspect it was almost added as a, oh, we need a first zone. Right.
Yeah, it's one of the first times we're using this system of 2 zones. We did have it in Barcelona for a test event way back at the beginning of the year. But this is the first time we're really seeing it with all of the international athletes. And Philip not making it work that first time. Which shows how impressive Sam Abazu's flash was.
Yeah, it was really impressive. I think the key to the move is to stay so close to the wall that, and then just whip that leg round to kill the rotation like your shoulders.
So Philip Shank needs to get this now in order to stay in touch with that first and second position. Matches with the feet and creeps upwards. You can't pop up to that zone hold. And yet, Sam sort of ignored it. Sorry, not Sam.
Meji
ignored it
completely the second time.
Philip is using it again, just briefly though, touch. Let's see if he's figured this one out. He's carrying a lot of momentum through that
I was
move.
about to say, it looks like he's going a little bit too fast. It's very easy to say from the comfort of the commentary booth, but
Yeah, it's the joy of this job. We can tell them what they're doing wrong from afar. They can only have a go at us later on. So a bit too much speed. So how do you slow a movement down though if you're sort of falling through the air?
I guess the initial movement, it's kind of more, I guess the first part of the cartwheel. It's like, I always joke that modern front bouldering is just cartwheels, which Max quoted me on his Instagram the other day.
So that initial move needs to be slower because he's starting off a bit fast into it. So let's watch to see if he
makes the adjustment.
Yeah, and the coaches, although they can shout things, it's hard to hear them. They can't give
You're
it
not
away.
allowed to coach while they're actually on the boulder, so it's...
So he has to work this out for himself as the minute mark comes up. So the eyes are up. Looks like a big lead up to it. That was a bit slower.
Better. I think it's him trying to bring his other hand in that's kind of twisting him off.
And the way he ran back to his chalk bag there, you can sometimes tell when an athlete thinks he's figured it out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that was it.
Yes. And he looked quite enthusiastic when he came back. He's straight on.
Also running out of time for his last 20 seconds.
So he comes down now. Out. No job for him. So that's no top. Our first athlete to fail to get to the end.
But he's got to do some work on the others now to make that up.
Yeah, so now although the score says 3, he will get minus points for those attempts. That will show up at the end. That's why it
I
displays
think it's only
3.
on the attempt that you get that zone. So he'll still have 3 for his...
So, awesome work from Philip, but not quite enough to get the top. So, out he goes. Jakob Schubert onto the stage, waves to the crowd. Jesse Pilkson, she was competing yesterday.
Third place yesterday?
Yeah, she did brilliantly.
No, second.
Second place, yeah.
First, sorry.
Yeah,
Jesse.
and watching Jessie, I mean, it was so good to see her back. And then again, another one really experienced out there.
See how Jakob gets on with this slab. Occasionally struggles a little bit with flexibility.
A little bit, so he's kicking the legs right and left.
Like, especially like foot to hand moves.
Works it out, gets stood up.
On the way.
Shakes his head as well. Yeah, Jakob seems to have been sort of a little bit frustrated all week, just not quite finding the flow, especially on the boulder buttons.
Yeah, a lot of the boulders look like they've not had a lot of flow to them. Like, there's been a lot of kind of big powerful moves and kind of a bit switching around and trying to find positions.
So Jakob, though, goes again.
He needs to dig into his experience banks and find a way.
Working out the sequence, so awkward. A little bit taller as well than some of them. And you can see his knees right up by his face and then gets stood up.
Yeah, he's the tallest out of the athletes so far.
Yeah, sometimes height can be an advantage, sometimes a disadvantage. It just depends on the climb itself. It changes the way you have to do some moves.
So he's just trying to remember where that foothold is and take that moment to settle his brain a little bit.
Jumps down, kicks the feet to the left, flips them around, and then looks at the crowd and the time. There we go, the 5.9 being displayed. That's the heel underneath. And that is the full 25 score minus that attempt to the top.
Yeah, very easy to get excited in that last move and just push yourself off the finishing hold. Like, he did well to calm himself down there. It's the hardest thing to do in climbing is to go from pulling really hard to kind of balancing, and you've got all this adrenaline flying around.
And that's the leap out to the left. Really had to bring that right foot all the way through, touch the volume.
It's a slightly different method from Jakob. He missed out the kind of intermediate hold and just went for the full big hop.
Well, full commitment from him. He's got a good score. Definitely in touch as that first boulder is done. And now the men's individual event, Nikolai Uznik will come out, and Mejdi Shank is in action on boulder number 2. Unlike normal single event finals, we're having two athletes climbing at the same time. And there's been a bit of chat about whether the athletes can sort of learn something by looking at the other climber whilst they're going, and if that's an advantage or disadvantage. And it's one of those things we might tweak and change as we move this forward.
I always say to the athletes that if you're looking at another athlete on another problem, then you're not focusing on the one in front of you. So stop it. But
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I guess on the way back to isolation, then potentially there is a chance to have a look. Oh, what's the next boulder? But
you can't learn.
I think they're always taking them off to the left of the wall if they're coming on, or they're climbing from the right hand side to the left hand side to the right hand side, sorry, and they're always taking off to the left hand side. So there shouldn't be the opportunity to do that.
And what you can learn from like a snapshot isn't a lot anyway. So Mejdi comes down trying to get the toe hook in. It's quite a tricky first move there. Got to kind of kick the right foot out and underneath the hold.
Yeah, again, another little coordination move here. So it's hand and foot at the same time in this case.
So Nikolai as well couldn't make that. That's that intermediate hold Dave was talking about that that Jakob missed.
So they're just almost using it as a guide just to help them go again.
So look, Mejdi getting the toe in, more static that time. Now this is the big move to the pinches. He's got the first zone.
Looks like he's lining up to go wide.
Ah, so that's what you spotted. Instead of using the two close pinches, he's gone out with the right. Gets awarded the zone as well.
Let's see how hard this last move is.
Is there a screw on underneath, perhaps? It's hard to see.
I don't think there is.
So it's just flat, and he does drop the top, bringing the hands into match.
Yeah. So although he did get two hands on that, there wasn't the body control on it, so he needs to be stable.
And Nikolai manages the jump to the left again, just slowing down that movement, making it work. Now can't rush the top. And he does it slowly. Oh, he's gone on top with the fingernails. Rethinks, and it is awkward, this move. It's not easy.
Oh, yeah. No texture on this heavy toe.
And all on the left foot. Well, Nikolai gets the 25 minus the 1 attempt to the top.
He claims to be terrible at slabs, yeah. He basically won the European Championships on 2 slabs, so his excuse is gone.
You can't say that anymore. So Mejdi is left by himself as we come to a minute and a half left on this boulder. Looks around the corner, trying to work out the sequences. And it is that last hold. It's just coming in with the match. Send him down.
I think he'll probably do it this time. Like, he'll make that little adjustment. He's going to rest up for a little bit.
So shaking out. And timing is so important, isn't it? And how do you train these athletes to time properly? Because it's difficult to know how long to rest and then when to actually start climbing.
Yeah, I guess it's just a feeling from doing these things, and you just learn your body and you know how you feel. And it's in this situation, he's starting to run out of time, and he's going, "Oh, how long will it take to do this boulder? Like, do I leave myself enough time that I can potentially fall off the move lower down?" It's a balancing point.
Yeah, let's see if he's got it right as we come up to 35 seconds. He's already got the zone points, out with a big jump, right and left. Oh, and does snatch towards that pinch, and
He just rushed that match in a little bit.
probably
He might have another sprint go.
Oh, I mean,
He's got time.
This is going to have to really motor here. I mean, 17 seconds. So Mejdi will have to be very dynamic to get this done in the time. 10 seconds. This is the move he fell on, gets it this time, 5-4. Is going to have to be so quick on the final match. Goes out 3 seconds, and it was just a little too rushed at the end.
Another 5 seconds.
So Mejdi a little disappointed, just the 2 zones for him.
At least unlike a normal semi-final round now, he's now got sort of 15-20 minutes to calm himself down and reset and get the adrenaline out of the system from that.
Yeah, he was never quite on it, was he? But good effort right at the dying end of his round there. And this was Nikolai's top. Jumps over with the left, 2 hand movements. And then just calms himself down once he's got the slap. Reaches up. It's just a thumb underneath.
Thumbnail again.
Oh. I mean, I'd ask you how to train that, but there's not a lot you can do, is there? Athletes do, though, train on... Well, I mean, I've seen 4mm edges used. I haven't seen anything smaller than that.
No, I don't think so.
And 4mm is pretty vicious on the fingers. Try doing a pull-up on a 4mm edge. Right, Alberto Lopez, the Olympic champion, runs out. And interestingly, he's the only one in this field who's competed in this exact format because he won the Barcelona test event.
Oh, yes, of course.
So he's a bit more experienced, which won't play a huge part. We might just give him a bit of confidence coming into this. And he's underway with that press upwards. Very smooth from Alberto. Sam Abazu, I think he might like this boulder. As he falls straight away. Come on, Sam. So into the zone. He'll get the points for that as he uses it. And Alberto as well, easily into the first zone perfectly. Oh, and Sam uses the different pinches.
2 pinches. Both ways work.
Gets the toe hook in. Alberto falls. Sam is on for a flash here, matches the slippery surface, and now he's got to go underneath this. One in, there's that match. Body position thing, isn't it? Because if you've got all the weight on your feet and then you let go of that left hand, you're always falling.
The foothold also pushes you leftwards, which makes it even more powerful. So.
They're really bicep-y. Grab. So Sam brushes the hold, and Alberto is back on the boulder.
See what he's learnt from that first attempt.
No, he hasn't quite right. He's getting closer, almost held that. Not bringing that right foot round in a flick as much as the others did. So he lands with the left. Oh, he's coming round.
Yeah, I think the body was coming with it, so that's kind of such a flat hold that you're hitting when you land that as soon as your body comes around, you slide out of it.
Yeah, so as you come from right to left, it just opens up your hand, and that's when you peel off. And look how physical that is. Oh, right hand. Is it totally no text under there?
I think there is texture in there. It just wraps around quite a lot on those variants.
So you almost go deeper into it, perhaps. Well, Alberto is up and standing. Only that first zone for him.
It's one of those moves, when you do the move, they feel so easy. And you think, why have I fallen off this 3 times? It's like...
And now we know that this move is tricky. It's got a sting in the tail. Oh, he's going underneath it as well. That fingernail will be in action. Matches it.
I don't think anyone's actually fallen off that move yet, but I didn't want to say at that point.
It looks like the hardest move in it, and I don't think it is. It's just because it's such a nasty thing. Yeah.
Just standing on one leg. What grade's that?
Yeah, it's easy. Success. So Sam Abazu jumps up to the thin pinches, making that move look really simple. It's the final part of this boulder that's hard. No one topping it out at the moment. Crosses through, that's the toe. There's rubber across the top of his shoe that helps with that move as he kicks right.
Fighting hard.
It seems like the same move. There wasn't a lot he did differently. So is it just a sort of a physicality in that movement that he's not quite getting right, or do you think he should adjust the feet?
It's a really high undercut, like you're taking that by your face. Like, normally if you do a bicep curl, it's by your waist, and you're doing it above your head. So there's a whole lot more than bicep in there as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, imagine doing a bicep curl at your head. That's a really good example. That is the hold. You can see it's half no text, and there is a texture at the back. French coach. Nico Januel. Yeah, he really goes through it with his athletes. He's always really emotional with them. And Alberto, once again, the nail move at the end. Celebrations from Alberto. He gets the job done. So, first time we see Luka Popića from Slovenia as he comes out onto the stage. And he's such a good lead climber.
Yeah, he's incredibly strong in the crimps. Like, just looks like he can rest on anything with an edge on it.
Well, I like the end of Boulder.
So much endurance. Like.
So he can go for days. And Philip Shank didn't get the top on Boulder #1, so he's got a little bit of work to do coming into the second climb. Rocks up. No one's really had a lot of trouble with this move. It might have looked a bit...
Yeah, it's a little bit fighty. It's there to make you feel a bit uncomfortable at the start of the round. It's not that hard. I say that hard, but I think if you put it in your local climbing gym, a lot of people would struggle with it.
I wouldn't go near it. I've seen the end of it. So Philip goes up to the narrow pinches. Interesting, he's stepping through with it. It's funny, isn't it? We watched them read the routes backstage for such a long time, and an athlete comes out and does something totally different from everyone else. I think after all that discussion, they'd all have the same idea, but sometimes it changes on the boulder, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just have an instinct that, oh, this feels right, and you've got to try it and fully commit to that, whatever it is that you've decided. And maybe they underestimated this boulder looking at it and viewing. Like, they were talking about Boulder 2, Boulder 3. I wonder if they just thought this looked easy, having watched the women's yesterday. Like, the first boulder was very easy. So, all relative. But.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, looking at the scores, it's certainly doable. 5 of them getting it done. So down he creeps. And let's see how he does this. Can we bring that right leg through? He does. Okay. It looks like it opens up your body more at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so it pushes your hips out from the wall. And then you have to rotate back round at the end of the movement as well.
It was interesting to see when the athletes change their beta. He's halfway through this now, so he's going to do it. This is almost the time.
Yeah. Again, it's a feeling. Depends how close he feels to doing that method. Like, he might be like, oh, I'm going to stick that now, and then stick with it, or he might go, actually, that's not working.
And remember, the other athletes, they can't see how the others have done it, so it's not like they can learn. And for all he knows, that is the way. You know, he might have just thought that's it. Yeah. Maybe chatted about it with some people. So Philip Shenk has the 6 from getting into the second zone the first time.
Not surprising that they gave him that.
Yeah, it's up to the judges if they award those zones.
That's definitely a 6. So.
Just 1 minute left. Luca is having no luck on that slab. Philip Shenk, though, now nears the end. He really needs to get this. Right hand under.
Way further over than the others. He's not finding very much over there.
No, that's a rethink it. So frustrating. You're like incredibly close to it and yet so far away. Right hand through, sits on his legs. And look, he did touch that final hole with 2 hands, but that's not going to be enough from the judges.
No, again, it needs to be stable is the word they use.
Yeah, and stable can be debated, of course, exactly what that means. So Luca doesn't manage to get it done, neither does Philip. And something that we noticed yesterday with the women is that you need to have a good boulder round coming into the lead, otherwise you leave yourself a lot to do. And for both of these guys, well, for Philip certainly not getting either of those first 2, that's going to have some work later on. We are early days, though, of course, a long way to go.
So there's a little tiny screw on the end of the volume of the foot. It looks like there might be a little black screw on the very end.
To sort of squat onto.
Yeah. Just to get some downward pressure to push back into the undercut.
So this is Luca. That's the first. There's friction a little bit there. Face right against the slab. Janja actually hit her face on the slab the other day, took a fall and banged it on the way down. Well, first time we're going to see Andra climb. He comes out and behind him is Jakob Schubert, and although they're not on the same climb right now, how many times are these two been in comps together?
It's appropriate backdrop, isn't it? 2 warriors going into battle.
Exactly. It's really good to see. I love the youth coming through, but it's nice to see some of the more experienced. And I don't want to say old because they're younger than me, both of these, but they're sort of more experienced. Let's just say it like that.
It's a nicer word.
Yes. And London, the first time in the world's time 9C outdoors, which is the hardest grade there is in sport climbing. Jakob launches to the pinches. Doesn't use the toe. Going for pure physicality.
International symbol for brushing going on from the upper.
Yeah. Nice to see brushes back. There was a period during COVID times when it was just the athletes who had to do it. And those brushes are beautiful. Take a look at them if you can. That was a competition by a local climbing hall, the Boulder gym. Whoever designed the best and painted the best brushes got free membership. It's really nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
See, I don't know, he didn't quite stick that move. I didn't see quite what he was doing. Rotated out before he got to the hold.
Adam's frame is so different from some climbers. Sort of that thing of the old approach to not really training your legs. And I remember that you look at back in the 80s and you had climbers with tiny little skinny legs. Adam he's got some muscle down there.
Yeah. And his shoulders as well, compared to what he used to be when he first appeared on the scene. It's like,
he really changed his physicality. So Jakob comes towards his final move, thugging his way through it. And sticks the jump this time. Jakob looks close, going really high on it.
there's no
casual.
Have a little sit down at the top of the boulder.
We did. So and Adam at the same time tops up. Well, look, we talked about two warriors, and look, fist bumps from them. Both of them getting the boulders done. That move from Jakob there was so casual.
That was total instinct from Jakob there. He hadn't planned that. He was just fighting to try and get into a position where he felt stable. You can redo it as much as you want, but sometimes you just have to make something up.
Well, we're going to watch Jakob's final climb here. So he bumped out right into those big wide pinches. Had an undercling, then stood up high, and then realised almost that he could bring that left foot up. And then, easy, like a meerkat, popping out of a hole. Jakob Schubert tops out Boulder 2.
Coming for Schubert, the Austrian legend.
He enjoyed that, didn't he? And this is Adam Andra. The good footwork. Really high on that. Everyone else has been creeping with their fingernails. Oh, what is Adam holding on to here?
The tape, I think.
Yeah. Nothing. And then that was the moment. That is so good to see. Adam is having a good time at this Munich comp. So Nikolai Uznik is out and Mejdi Shank is back.
First look at his third boulder.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see this because I really don't know how to approach it. If I was walking up to this thing, I could walk away and watch someone else do it. It's really complicated.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how instinctive it is and whether it just something works or whether it's just a total fight.
So Mejdi starts squatted down. You can see 4 lines towards the first hold. That's where he has to start. And it's really overhanging. Look how arched his back is. This is Nikolai Uznik on Boulder 2.
He's managed to get turned around.
It's a big thuggy slap out.
Elbow busting compression.
Now the zone hold is pretty much everything attached to that giant volume above his head, apart from the one right underneath.
Yeah, like one black bar underneath isn't part of it.
Mejdi in almost a chimney position. That will count as the zone. Then he has to rotate again. Oh, we're jumping to what looks like a jug.
Missed out some holds from, there we go, easy.
Well, maybe not as complicated as we thought when you miss them all out. That'll do wonders for Mejdi's score. Yeah, there he goes, jumping up 55.7 in total for him. Nikolai is alone on the stage.
His vision to do something a totally different way to what seems to be on the wall is always so impressive. So the whole of that, I'm just going to jump to it and not use all this.
Yeah, the way he and his teammate Oriane Berton climb is quite similar. They just spot stuff.
Like super instinctive.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, in climbing, I think he's changing. Especially
most of the young climbers are like that now, though. They spend so much time jumping around and playing.
Yeah, and gyms, they're setting more boulders like that, so they're growing up with that kind of a style. Nikolai in the zone.
You might like these holds.
Yeah, look at the size of his hands as he slaps through. So, a fairly high-scoring round all in at the moment. Heels off that slope.
Interesting to see Adam on this in a few part this time. See, starting into that undercut, it's a little bit easier for him because it's a little bit lower down.
Yeah, we had to see Jakob get so high on it. The only athlete to top it out. Oh, yes. Coaches enjoyed that one. Oh, we're coming up towards the halfway point in this Boulder final. Nikolai's got less than a minute.
I think we need more coaches cam going on. I think there's almost more passion and emotion going on in the pit than on the wall. The athletes are like very controlled, and
I don't know how
coaches are like leaping around.
I don't know how you do it. I'd be so nervous and just so I wouldn't be able to control myself. I don't think.
Yeah, watching Max in the Brixton final was more stressful than any climbing combat I've ever done.
Nikolai uses the toe this time. That looks better for him as he goes out to the slope. Then adjusts the feet, swings over to the right, matches.
Looked down, hoping there was a foothold to help him push into that undercut.
Yeah, not to be found. Well, Jakob Schubert, by topping that out, has left himself in a really good place. There's a couple to come on that boulder. Alberto Lopez, Luca Potica and Adam Andra still to come on boulder number 2.
There's a lot of pressure on Nikolai in this round, isn't there? Like, he knows it's his specialist discipline and he's not as good on the leaders, so he needs to make up some points on this.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's almost, there's a lot more mental games going on than a usual kind of boulder or lead conference.
Yeah, and how they approach the 2 zones as well has been interesting, because we're seeing some athletes go for attempts where they don't really have enough time. They know they need to get that second scoring point, and that's changed things as well. Alberto Lopez, he comes to boulder 2. Sam Abazu gets sat down. So remember, Mejdi flashed this. Now he doesn't use the side pull. He goes out to the sort of a pinch on the edge of the volume. And Alberto's towards the final move. It doesn't look as good as using that zone hold from Sam.
It's such a narrow position. There's no like edge on those holds at all. It's all just vertical wall, and you're squeezing and trying to do a pull-up on them.
And that's what we mean by compression, don't we?
Yeah.
When you're sort of
so
pushing,
squeezing,
squeezing, yeah. And how do you train something like that?
A lot of gyms have got like kind of boxes hanging from walls around fingerboards, or just climbing on this style of problem as well. So there's very few holds in the boulder comp that point the right way anymore.
So Sam uses that zone hop this time, then gets into that chimney style position where he'll scrunch himself up. Pushing and pressing his way through, and this, it looks fairly restful, but there's so many muscles working for him right now.
It's a really steep wall this as well. It's like maybe 40 degrees overhanging, so
yeah, and he's not sitting there having a good time.
He's having to push with his legs the whole time, and like his hands keeping him on. Better this.
Doesn't look in the right position to get that slope. Not using the toe from the left as he could do.
Yeah, both the French boys matched the middle pinch off a toe hook. No, the right pinch.
Oh, Sam, it was a blind jump and he went too high on it. That's really amazing. For Mejdi to sort of spot that and then make an adjustment in the air in order to see that slot. Fingertips keeping him on. Yeah, just not looking in the best position for that slope, and
you can see why it's so intensive on the skin there. That's like dragging your hand down a bit of
Sandpaper.
120 grit sandpaper.
Oh. Yeah, the athletes doing a lot of skin maintenance. And it was something we saw, especially at the end of the single events, because they came back to back. Like the athletes just taped up heavily on all fingers.
Yeah, warm-ups on the sort of third and fourth day. People warming up in gloves, like taped up fingertips, like anything to conserve that extra little bit.
Yeah, schedules change depending on events, but this one was particularly intense for them. I mean, everyone was in the same boat, but it was tough. Sam with his back against the chimney once more as he comes up. 44 seconds. This might be his last attempt at this by the time he comes down, depending on how far he gets. Alberto looking like he's getting further away.
I'm trying to use the hold, but maybe he didn't even use that middle hold at all. He just jumped straight out.
Sam got it the second time with the jump. He'll get the 25 points. And Alberto leaves the stage, unsuccessful on his boulder as the time counts down. You don't need to go all the way to the end, and sometimes you do see athletes stopping quite early if they know they haven't got a boulder and they're going to preserve skin. Big old scratch on Sam Abazi's leg there. I was just having a look. I think it's an old one. So we pause as the volunteers brush the holds down on the mat. This was Alberto. It seemed to go a bit backwards on this.
Yeah, it's very easy to power out on a boulder like this. Like, it's squeezing really hard on those pinches. And
yeah, just running out of energy and power a bit. Right, so we come down to Luka Poticha and Philip Shank. Now, Philip is behind at this point. He needs to get a top on this this third boulder. I'd say it was his style of problem, though. And Luka as well is underway. That statue-like position. Maximum points for boulder is 100. There's the scores down on the bottom. Top 25, second zone 6, first zone 3, and every attempt to those is minus 0.1.
Luka just missing that right in the pinch there.
Oh, he does that same method.
It's quite confusing. There's a lot of chalk on that hold. Either the French boys use the top of it, they use it as an undercut, but it's on the bottom side of it.
Yeah, it hasn't really been working as a hold, but yeah, you're right. The more people trying it, the more chalk there goes. Then you start thinking, well, that's the way. So Philip presses, rotates. Luka gets the zone. He's trying it again, this Philip. But I mean, you could make that work, maybe. He jams the foot.
Maybe that was the intended boost from the resetters. Maybe that's what they wanted. To use that footlock.
So Philip is nearing the zone. Remember, it's pretty much everything that you can see on that black volume. Bumping the hands, and matching that hold. Oh, campuses through.
So easy.
He seemed to enjoy taking his feet off there way more than having them on. Out to the right, and we knew he had to get that to stay in touch, and he has. So it's 33, and look what that's done to his score.
It's bumping right, hasn't it?
Yeah, he was in danger of falling behind if he didn't get that. So good work from him.
Yeah. Sometimes it is easier not to use your feet, but sometimes.
Absolutely. So Luca very much using his feet at this point, but we're about to see him lose it as he jumps, swings backwards, and yet, same as Alberto, starting to power out maybe.
Yeah, I think he just missed the thumb on the left-hand pinch there. Just didn't have the squeeze.
And there's a lot going on because you've got to jump, catch it, and squeeze all at the same time.
And pull in to kill the swing. Yeah.
This is the thing when we mentioned coordination. I mean, a move like that is coordination, but
I guess in the scheme of World Cup bouldering, it's relatively simple. It's,
yeah, the movement, I suppose, is simple compared to some of them when you get toe hooks and heels and all of them being dynamic.
yeah.
Crowd get behind him. He's got 30 seconds on the clock. Goes again to the zone. One of his last tries at this. Now gets the toe. Has he got the stamina, though, as we near the end of this boulder?
Just missed the good part of that hold.
Yeah, he looks tired for sure as he leaves. So Luca, no top score for him. Got himself set, fell from this move a few times. Not very positive, that edge, is it?
No.
And there's nothing
Terrible
screwed
edge.
onto it either. Anyone speak Slovenian?
Afraid not.
So there they are again. I'm loving the fact these two are together. It's so good. So Jakob is out, as is Adam Andra. And Jakob Schubert, the only person to top boulder 2. So if he can get this, he'll be right on top of things.
Let's see if Adam can match him on the second boulder.
Both of them as well, in their day, equally good on the lead wall. Jakob trying to re-figure out this sequence. Where's he going to go to? He looked up to the pinch. So he falls and presses. And Adam launches up. That's what Jakob Schubert hit. This wide shot.
Desperate trying to figure out where he wants to go.
Yeah, he sort of always wanted to get in a better position statically, and I think you just got to go when you're out in that place.
It's a bit of a nightmare boulder in this situation where you, because usually you can sit and if you've read the boulder and you know what you want to do, you can sit and visualize it. It's almost like you've climbed it like 20 times already. I mean, you've got no idea what to do. You're just like, oh my God, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I use this bit?
All of them, when they've sat down on that starting hold, have sort of just had a little moment of like, okay, here we go. Yeah, the sort of more he tried to work out, the more he was falling off. So he's got to commit to a method here. Now he rotates and turns.
See how much Jakob's trying just to stay on the wall there. Adam's sticking the die now.
Yeah, so Adam's through, and Jakob does work it out, and he's going for that foot jam. So the heel and the toe pressing into the crack created by the 2 volumes. Matches the zone hold.
Trying to go low.
Adam can't get that move either.
Well, it's funny, to move your weight across, you have to bend your leg to go low, but then when you're in the hold, you have to stand up again. It's really powerful. There's so much force going through your core and the leg as well, and your right bicep. Like.
Everything being tested. Jakob's been on this so long, it's like a lead route. Might as well clip at this point. And he's brought the chalk bag with him, so he can chalk up midway. But he's nearing this quite blind jump.
His feet quite low as well.
So Jakob's struggling at the moment, as is Adam. He was deep into it, but didn't have the toe up.
Yeah, make it very interesting. Oh, this is the fat bad that hold is.
Yeah, it's terrible, look at that.
Yeah, no little extra screw on in there or anything.
No screw on and no edge at all, just rolls upwards into it. And Jakub just couldn't find the foot position. He needed, as you said, to get the feet
So
higher.
I think he left his feet so low and just did more moves, and then just couldn't move.
Well, they're both still going. The temperature's cooler here in the stadium than the last couple of days. Cloudy this afternoon, which will help.
Yeah, much nicer temperature today.
And the judge is just looking at Jakub's hands there, because you're not allowed blood on the hole. So if they think it might be bleeding, they have to check.
Yeah, yesterday they were hosing down the crowd.
Yeah, wish they'd hose us
like-
down. We're boiling up here. Yeah, so different conditions for the men.
Finding that footwork. So he's coming his toe between and heel in that little gap. It takes a lot of weight off your hands.
Adam is not going to get this done. I think his displeasure is clear on that one. Jakub is going to have to motor. He's only got 10 seconds. It's not really enough time. He's got the zone. Oh, and look, he
Figured it out.
Yeah. Well, both Adam and Jakub letting us know exactly their feelings.
That's opened the final right up, hasn't it?
He's still frustrated. He knew if he could have get that, he would have been up at the top of the leaderboard in a really good place. But now Sam Avazu is on the top spot. So this is what he was holding on to. Pressing position in the chimney, and he needed to get his feet a little higher, which he did eventually, but then ran out of time. And this is showing the judge, so obviously he's making the case that there's no blood at all. What are you talking about?
Big handful of chalk in there, I think, as well.
Yes.
So now I'm not bleeding.
No, nothing. Honest, Your Honour. It is a safety concern, and it's right. We don't want people bleeding all over the wall. So, and you see sometimes the athletes having to tape up. And Molly was telling me that she practices speed taping. Which I thought was brilliant. I've never heard anyone tell me that.
It could be a whole discipline in itself.
Yeah, it should be. It's like a pit stop at Formula One, you know. Right, so we get to see boulder number 4 for the first time, which is potentially the hardest one of the whole set.
I wouldn't be the roots out of there.
No, I'll try not to. Let's see if Mejdi can prove them wrong, shall we? So he's going to go for a big jump across the slab.
I think Mejdi will probably like this a lot.
Oh, his foot nearly went higher than his head then. Nikolai is underneath, same position as Jakub was. Look at that leaderboard. Sam Avazu, 55.7. Mejdi Shutford, 5.7 as well.
And Jakub as well.
And Jakub, so the top 3 just separated. Close at the top. If it stays this way, almost neck and neck like this, it will all come down to who climbs highest on that lead wall.
Yeah, I think Jakub will be quite happy with that if it stays as it is.
There'll be scores from the leader added to the boulder at the end. Mejdi is into the first zone and the second zone.
So this last move.
It's a long way.
You
You need
need to jump into a palm and stick your hand in there.
Oh, and he does. Look at that from
To
Mejdi.
get his foot on.
That is pure new school strength from Mejdi Shal. Awesome to see from him. I mean, it's a move that you will not see very often at your local wall. Something like that. It's very specific to this style of comp climbing and this style of setting. Look at that. I mean, what do you even call that?
A dynamic coordination mantle, I think.
I love it.
Is the only way to describe it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Backwards palm press. I don't know. I feel like a lot of my job is just making up climbing terms here.
Yeah, I think you'd see that move on a slab and done more statically, but not on an overhanging wall.
No. This is Nikolai working. And he's still climbing. Just look at that face.
Fight going on there.
Oh. Just trying to find that point to move on. Couldn't do it though. So he's going to jam the foot in as well in the set. Oh, he hasn't changed it slightly.
Bicycle around the far volume.
Works his way up and he has got time. But we watch Jakob run out of time. He hasn't actually got the second zone yet. He should do now with that movement. Yeah, there it goes, on the scoreboard. And now, as long as he can... Oh, but he's twisted so awkwardly around towards the audience.
I don't know.
And he's gone, so he's got 20 seconds left, but it's not enough time. And he got the second zone by that point. No point in wasting skin and energy. This was the final turn. He just got himself in the wrong place, and that spin, spinning him off the wall.
Yeah, he's got quite a lot of strapping on that right arm, which is the one that's bothering him a lot in the Boulder final. So I'm worried that's still bothering him a little bit, whether it's just a precautionary thing.
Yeah, Nikolai, if you watch back that competition, he seemed genuinely surprised to top out the slab when he won. And I think he's just enjoying being here. It's, you know, being in the top 8 on the combined final, this big, it sets you up so well for next year for the qualifying events.
Oh, absolutely. That's all learning, isn't it? Like, I think it's totally different to a normal World Cup. It's,
Right, so Sam Abazu has a chance to go up to the top of the leaderboard here if he can get this done. How much of this can they plan in their heads, that foot movement? It's something I really struggle with when you look at a bowl like this, is where do you place your feet?
Again, when you do a lot of them, I think you have an instinct for where you need to be. The initial position they're generating out of looks really weird, like really off balance, and it's like there's almost like a strength element to it where you stick that easily, doesn't you?
Yeah, now this is the move. We haven't worked out what to call it yet. Oh, he goes, oh, look at that. Pressing up underneath. And that is going to send him right to the top.
Here.
They really are. I mean, they're making a play for this, and Alberto tops out at the same time. And this is setting us up for an amazing lead final. It really is.
So interesting.
Alberto with those Olympic rings. He's Spain's youngest gold medalist.
Youngest gold medalist ever.
Up to the top, turns back, job done from him. Sam Abazu on this move looks so good. The rotation, he was going up as he was holding the swing. That's our leaderboard, 80.6 at the top. So Philip Shenk managed to keep himself in contention after a slower start from him. Luka Pottinger turns and has a look at this complicated Boulder 4-3. The crowd have been swelling, growing all afternoon as more and more have come into the stadium, and there's a huge amount of people now watching.
Yeah, the crowd numbers have been amazing here, like midweek, and everyone's still come out. And
yeah, it's really awesome. Thank you to everyone here in Munich for putting on such a good show.
So not quite as rowdy as yesterday. We haven't Hannah Mule, local German, in the finals, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, we just We needed a German in here. But I think they've kind of adopted Nikolai Uznik and Jakub Schubert. So Luka Potager is having a long look at the start of this boulder. This was his initial press.
Obviously, mostly a lead specialist, but will do a fair amount of boulder training as well. So.
Yeah, and the disciplines are starting to merge. We're starting to see boulders get a little bit longer and lead walls get more
complex.
Yeah. Philip Shenk, back and forth he goes. Springs out to the right and can't make that move work. Look at that. Almost jamming the toes.
Oh, now he gets it in.
And that will feel good. It's a nice feeling when it slips in like that.
Sure.
Yeah, almost everyone's taking the chalk bag up there. Philip Shenk is missing that left hand at the moment. Luka pressing, hasn't brought the left foot, now does, and he'll be able to sit here and breathe for a moment.
So try and figure out which way up he is, which way he's facing, where the next hold is. It's so easy to get lost on things like this.
He hasn't got the second zone, not yet. Philip Shenk not getting the jump locked in.
A little closer.
He's trying to hold the sloper underneath, but it's more of a blocker than a holder.
Yeah, that's just to stop him using the back edge of the volume.
Pressing up, and now he'll get the zone and looks in a better position than Nikolai did. Matching is... He's got a twist. Even more... Oh, that's strength. To hold that, incredible.
But he's pointing the wrong way as well. It's,
and he's chalking up one-handed just to flex. And he's taking his time, he's got the time, and needs to make sure of this. It would have taken a lot out of him. Had to engage a different gear to make that work. And he does top out. Oh. He had to dig really deep. Oh, yeah, the nerves, I feel you. Not sure what that was. Blood or
blood.
Blood or positioning.
Usually if it's the RFC official, it's blood.
So he winds up.
Misses the foot there. Couldn't get the foot leading first.
So frustration from Philip Shenk. He has a lot more work to do come the lead. But he'll go now and rest before that starts. And the lead will kick off around about 5 p.m. here, Munich time. About a half an hour break between the boulder ending and the lead beginning. This is this move. I mean, look, he made it look as hard as it was.
Yeah, the hold is facing. It's like.
Well, look at that left, the right. Wait, hang on, I'm lost. Which hand is it? The right hand.
Left hand.
Yeah, left hand. And spun around, a head jam in there. Oh, that forehead getting involved. And then look at the hands. He's matching his own fingers. Oh, the more I see of this, the more disgustingly strong that move was.
Gripping your own hand.
Oh. If you're new to climbing, that is not usual, by the way. That's not something you'll see often.
Don't try this at home.
No, please don't. Out to the right, and that face said it all. I mean, he used his forehead, he crimped his own fingers, he deserved it, frankly.
Yeah. If you want a lesson in trying hard, that was it.
Yeah. Here we go, the two legends. Adam Andra, Jakub Schubert come out. Jakub was so disappointed not to figure out boulder number 3. And wanted a bit of revenge on number 4.
Yeah, I think he thought he'd figured out 3 as well and just ran out of time.
So Adam turns. I can't wait to see Adam on this because he's not really going to fit into that chimney very well with the left leg bringing back. But he might be able to reach through a few of the moves and be less dynamic, so maybe different sections will suit him.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be able to leave his feet a little bit lower like Jakob did and then got stuck, but Adam might be able to reach out of it. So.
Well, he's easily through the beginning bit, and this is where I thought he might struggle, but it doesn't look like he is. In fact, he's just getting higher.
He usually struggle with getting into small spaces. As long as they're not too tight, and he's okay.
Yeah, he's got great flexibility. He's cruising this at the moment. This is the power move. So different.
Easy. Very easy.
And Jakob is in. Adam easily out with a flash. Maximum score for him. What was the problem? He turns and he'll be sent out the other way. And Jakob. And heel to his hand. Still needs to match though. And there's a lot of work to do, and he does pop down. Wants a brush. Again, the head shake.
Yeah, it's so hard to get your hand out of the way in that position. Yeah, he was trying to hold the top.
I mean, he's got a thumb on the screw, but... he knows that could have been important.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time now. That's only his first attempt, which is really impressive to get that high.
I wonder how much psychologically, watching, well, he knew Adam flashed that boulder. It's right in his peripherals, he can hear it. He knew he was frustrated. It might be starting to play mind games for him. Adam made that look so easy.
Yeah, so I thought it was a hard boulder there. They changed it, but we weren't watching. Yeah, he's got that move absolutely dialed, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got it down. But this is where he struggles.
He can make an adjustment and make this work.
He's still trying the heel, slipped, gets it in this time.
Oh, he's got his toe on now.
He does get it done. Jakob Schubert will enjoy that moment as the crowd go crazy.
Yeah, starting to get pretty rowdy in here now.
It is, everyone's getting into this. Hope you are at home as well. We're coming to the end of the boulder part of this boulder and lead competition. Jakob Schubert getting horizontal. And this is pretty much, certainly for the top three, neck and neck coming into the lead round.
Yeah, super fascinating rounds, like all doing kind of different things, like at different rates. And
it's funny how it changes for a viewer, because for me, I quite like how tight it is. Usually we'd be saying maybe there's not enough separation, but it's really enjoyable that they're at this level.
I think because they're falling off different boulders, that makes it interesting.
Yeah, you're right. And it's just going to have all to play for on that lead wall. I mean, there's decimal points separating these guys.
Yeah.
All right, Nikolai Uznik's out, and we will slow things down a bit. Only one athlete at a time now as we come to the final climb. So we get to watch the last four in detail. Nikolai has a long look.
Yeah, he's just trying to remind himself of this boulder. So it's been a little while since observation. So.
And Nikolai is one of the ones who needs a top here, setting down in 6th place.
Oh, so close.
He almost tried to move away from it before it was really on.
It's almost like he thought he'd stuck it, and then, yeah, that second hand went.
Firing off that. And Nikolai will be back on his second attempt at this. Swinging that left leg, much better.
Oh, so strong.
Hero move from him.
I saw you, that hold isn't that good.
No. He tries it very dynamically. Again, just a little bit rushed on it, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that is that hold he's holding. You're right, it's terrible. I mean, it's big, but it's how slopey
really
it is.
slopey and.
Dave, how come if they're covering their hands in chalk, why aren't they putting loads of chalk on their feet if it's the same principle?
Best to describe this. I guess it would be a bit like climbing roller skates. So you have this layer of chalk between, the rubber's sticky. So if you put a layer of chalk on there as well, then it's just going to get slippery and slide around. Well, the chalk's there to absorb like moisture out the skin. It's pretty hot.
So hands, not feet being
Hands, not
chalked.
feet.
Oh, look at this. Oh, he was
Easy.
showboating that.
Having fun. That's what we like to see, isn't it?
Why not? Giving the photographer suddenly take a picture of Nikolai Uzdik, spins in the air and gives a cheeky look to the audience.
Bumps him into fourth place for now.
Yeah, so just 20 points behind the top three. And 20 points, well, we'll explain how the lead system works later on, but 20 points is not a lot as long as you get high. Let's see this slopey hold. So he's got the fingers in as well. They need to change it into a palm, and then look at this move.
Like mid-air, he's having to change it into a palm. Like,
yeah, so jumping and twisted. And that great little look to the audience. I really enjoyed that. That's cool to see. So that helped his score. He did what he needed to keep within distance. Alberto's out.
So what Alberto makes of this coordination move.
Yeah, he tends to be pretty good at them. He's trained a lot with Andra as Alberto. For a long time, people were saying that he was someone to watch.
I think he spent quite a lot of time in Innsbruck as well. I think, hasn't he, training with the Austrians? And
Yeah. And during that Olympic year, he did every competition you could possibly do
that
on the
was
circuit.
Crazy.
I thought he was completely wrong. I thought he was bonkers.
It's
and
almost
yet it
like he
worked.
hadn't trained before the start of the season and just got better and better and better.
I spoke to him about it, and he just said, look, I felt like I needed to climb my way into it, so competition just became second nature. Oh, spun with the right foot. Not using the catch underneath. Now he does, and now he needs to flick up, change it. Oh, he wasn't that high on it, and this is really physical now.
Yeah, it's a slightly overhanging wall, this, so you're falling out. So, but I think you can mantle this out statically. So go and try a different way.
So too big a jump. Tried two different things.
So I guess that's the method that the root setters were worried about. Whether you could rock out that way with your foot still on the zone hold.
And just press upwards.
Press up.
Yeah, and it's a good point about the wall being overhanging, because if it was more vertical or even sort of slabbier, then you could
press
mantle
down and get balanced on one hand, but
yeah, too tricky to do that on a wall in that shape. I love those sunglasses. So Alberto again likely to have got this move down, and he has.
yeah, it looks so easy when they do it. So hard when they don't.
Yeah, he's just learning the movement.
Tries the same way again, but a bit more dynamically.
Looking a tiny bit gassed out. He'll have to rest. Just seems to be pushing himself out from the wall a bit too much. And Alberto is resting now.
So he's just reassessing. There we go. See if he does anything different this time.
Yeah, so he's had a long time to think about this. Up he goes, easy now. It's all about this move. Presses and goes and misses.
So all the other guys were facing to the right, and he's trying to face to the left. But so I wonder if it only works one way.
Yeah, it's a good point. It might do. And sometimes that's all it takes, a little tiny angle change, and something becomes impossible. He's got 61.7. It's not the worst place to be.
Yeah, because the lead is probably his strongest discipline as well.
But if he can get this, I mean, oh, he's going statically again. Surely not. No, not quite.
And he's got time for another go. I wonder if he'll realise that if he goes that way and goes dynamic, then
It unlocks it. When you sit down after a comp with the athletes, do they just kick themselves sometimes they don't see a move, or is there always a process that they went through to get there?
I guess initially there's a bit of kicking. It's like, oh, if I'd just done this, and it's like, and then when they kind of calm down a bit from that, you can go into kind of, okay, why wasn't there?
Then you can
Why
assess
didn't you do that? Oh, why did you miss this foothold? Or
Yeah. But it's hard, isn't it? Because the boulders are different every single time. So it's not like you can take an identical learning situation.
So I guess that's the key for these things, is who can adapt to the boulder in front of them. It's like, okay, it's a bit like this move that I did 2 months ago at whatever gym. And
Yeah, because if in 100 meters you mess up the start, it's the same 100 meters the next time you do it. With this, it's so different. Alberto can't work it out. But
I was thinking sort of similar to tennis. Like the ball's always doing something different, and you've got to adapt to what's in front of you every time. But slightly slower pace.
Yeah, very true. So Slovenia, it's Luka Potajak comes out onto the stage. Let's see how we can figure this out. We've only got 2 athletes left, so Luka and then Adam out on this before we pause. And Luka, again, needs this. Started slow compared to the rest.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely critical for Luka to get. It's a great start.
I mean, he is new school for this move. Oh, matches. Then goes.
And he seems to be around for ages, Luka, but he's still so young.
Yeah. Had a great comp last year in his home country, where he got the silver. Oh, look, everything popping off it, and that's what we mean by bad hold. There's no positive edge to hold on to. Bit of friction, and you're jumping through the air whilst you're trying to hold on. Really good on that.
It's just coming out from the wall a little bit. So not only is he having to hold the swing sideways, he's having to hold the swing out as well.
So needs to change things a little bit, or just hold on more, but
yeah. Just hold on tighter.
Just don't let go. Climbing is one of those sports, you watch it on TV and you just think, just hold on. Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
That hold's massive, what are you doing?
Yeah, but it's so much harder than it looks. And I was up there on the stage having a look at these holds, and the size of it as well, the scale, it's a big wall, everything is far apart. And complicated. This is the world's best. And people talk about grades all the time. How do you grade something like this? And especially with Boulder, it's difficult to do, because how do you grade a coordination jump, you know?
Yeah, it's it's like, what grade is when you cross 3 volumes of going a jump? It's like, if I put V2 on it, you'll complain.
Yeah, I mean, an example, the route setters were trying this move with trainers on and making it work.
Yeah.
Because once you know the angles and how it goes together, it is
also with these black volumes, so what we're seeing on the camera now, like, the surface area is on a shoe is actually, in trainers, is actually bigger than a climbing shoe. It's just the rubber isn't quite as sticky.
So Luka is trying to find something here. He's got coming up to the minute mark left. He knows, despite how strong a lead climber is, if he doesn't get this, he's got a mountain to climb.
So stable in that position.
Yeah, you feel like it's not close yet. It's not like he's about to unlock it.
You see how far away from the wall he is there.
So pressure now, 30 seconds to go. Better.
So close.
But look at the
so
time.
Many little things that can affect that move, like the angle of either of your feet can change that move completely. You turn your ankle out 3 degrees and you do the move. It's like...
So it's great watching the quality of the slow motion we have, because you can see all of these little details. Seemed to get a little further over the back of it as well. Crimped his fingers up a bit more than he had been doing. As close as you get.
Go us. Never short of a bit of passion.
No. So our final climber for the Boulder round, Andra, walks onto the stage. He is up there if he manages to get this.
If you try and do a bit quick maths in the head then, and
Use your fingers.
shooting socks are off, so.
Right, what could Adam do? He flashed the last boulder brilliantly, it's got to be said. But this is this too new school for Adam Andra? He doesn't love these kind of
I think
moves.
he's practiced quite a lot of this style, so.
Yeah, comps are important to him. As much as he loves outdoor climbing, he wants to win these things. First zone, matches. Oh, hello. Now, this is classic Adam. Now, you won't see that from many other people as he rocks high up on the foot, and another flash from Andra. That sent him to the top of the leaderboard, 80.7. So now we've got 4 climbers in the 80s, which means all of them, it's just a case of who climbs higher on the leaderboard.
Yeah. I mean, let's hope that the lead route splits them out.
Yeah. Well, the Boulder round is done. Adam with 2 late flashes in the competition to put himself at the top spot, but things are tight. Let's watch this again. So he comes over, makes the grab, kicks the foot round. All good so far. Same match,
Actually, his
Luca.
left foot is more angled round than Lucas was. Maybe that's just the difference.
And then this move, look, we've watched him do this on outdoor climbs so many times.
I'm about to say it's a very outdoor.
The high rock up. It can be a get out of jail free move for some people. And for Adam, it was. That flexibility mattering. So Adam comes down with the top spot in Boulder. His coach there, literally just loving that. Right, well, we're going to take a bit of a break now. Coming back just before 5 p.m, where we'll run through everything, all the new lead scoring system for you. My name is Matt, and I've been with Dave Barron's here in the commentary box, offering some brilliant insight from an athlete and a coach's perspectives. So thank you so much. Right, we'll return very soon as we leave you with shots from Adam Andra. Go and have a cup of tea, and we'll be back just before 5 p.m. Dai, dai, Philip, dai, ale.
mit dieser Silbermedaille Boulder Einzelwettbewerb. Spannend sehen wir das Ergebnis an der Videowand. 80 Andra, 80 Shank und Schubert knapp dahinter. Aber wusste ich also schon mal, das gekommen. So, wir freuen uns. Gleich kommen wir hinaus, springen dann einmal hier unten aus dem Tor und dann rüber an die Wand ein letztes Mal zum letzten Achtanblick gegen an diese Wand. Und am Ende gibt es den letzten Team. Aber morgen, wenn ihr hier Gewitter am Königsplatz noch haben, gibt es dann hier wunderbare Filme, die alles auf Königsplatz kombinieren. Ich sag's dir, heute Abend im Olympiastadion können wir eigentlich, glaube ich, auch noch mal was erwarten. Und wir warten jetzt, apropos erwarten, vielleicht sind aufgebaut, die bisschen Drive ist hier unter das Dach gerückt, als es eventuell einen kleinen Minibus geben sollte. Aber die kommen jetzt gleich raus hier, unsere Achtleiter zur Observation an die Liedbahn. Und wir freuen uns, wenn der Erste hier rauskommt.
But we have to go in the same order, right?
I thought you mean like intermediate, you mean the yellow one? No.
No, no.
Ah,
Blue squadra,
okay, I don't remember the two blue ones.
Yeah, the one is fat and the other one is
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the European Championships 2022. It's time for the men's lead and boulder final. We've already watched the bouldering round earlier on, and now it's time for the lead side of the competition. My name is Matt Groom, and I'm joined by GB coach and athlete Dave Barons. And Dave, look, so far, if we could sum it up, things are pretty tight at the top, aren't they?
Yeah, it's tight, really interesting. Like, everyone's doing kind of slightly different things, so it's not like they're all following the same moves. So that's really good to see. Good job, route setters.
Yeah, exactly. It's left an exciting finale to this lead finals because the top four are very close in terms of points, and it's going to be pretty much a straight fight to the top. Who can climb highest? Who can take a medal? And the scoring system is different for the lead, and we'll go through that when we have a look at the wall. In this period of time, the athletes get 6 minutes in order to check it out, and there it is on the giant 15-meter overhanging lead wall. Starts kind of on the right-hand side and twists over all the way to the left and ends back over on the right at the top. It's a long route. So the scoring, as you can see, is down on the bottom right. The first couple of holds through the wall, they aren't got any scores attributed to them. The scoring starts there, hold 21. So those 5 moves down there are worth 1 point. The 10 moves after that are worth 2 points, and then the final 15 moves, they are worth 5 points each. So from hold 35 to the top. And Dave, this is interesting watching this because it means that especially down low, falling off is even worse than normal.
Yeah.
Because there are no points.
Like, and the top is, well, one hole can make all the difference. Like, whether you win or come 5th, 6th, like, it's, I wonder with that is one of the things that might get reviewed is kind of how the scoring falls out on the lead route, where they spread that out a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is worth remembering. This is kind of a test event for the Olympics, although it's the same format. The scoring itself that can be adjusted later on. So yeah, we'll see how things go. So split into sections. Each section's worth different points, and look how close the scores are. Adam Andra at the top on 80.7, then Sam Abazu on 80.6, Mejdi Shalk 80.5, and then Jakob Schubert 80.5 as well. And then moving down, Alberto Lopez, the Olympic champ, there he is on the screen, Nikolai Uznik, Luka Potichar, and finally Philip Shenk. So if you're Philip Shenk, for example, you're going to be looking at his wall thinking, look, I need a top here.
Yeah,
realistically.
That's his only option, really. Like, pending some absolute miracle where
Adam falls off.
Jakob, Alberto, Luca, like all these lead specialists fall low down.
So Philip has a lot of work to do. 100 points is the maximum you can get on this lead wall. So Adam, Andra and that top 4, well, that's pretty much a straight fight for them. And the athletes observing this route, trying to work out the sequences, see if they can spot any rests. And there aren't many. And they're allowed to look at it and then go back and write notes, draw a little sketch if they want. And you can see Jakob using binoculars there. Why?
Yeah, basically these routes are so complex. There's like holds screwed onto holds with other holds blocking your access to them. So it's him getting as much detail as he can about what the hold is, whether it's slightly uncut, whether it's sloping, whether he could clip off it, whether he could stand in it, put a heel in it, anything that can give him a bit more information around how he's going to do this route.
Well, that is the challenge they have ahead of them. And it is difficult to see it, especially with a wall like this, because, I mean, look, other people have been saying it's all roof. And it pretty much is, because you get underway and very quickly you're into an overhanging section.
Yeah, it's overhanging the whole way. Like, even the bits that don't look quite so overhanging, they're still pretty steep. And that middle section is like, whatever, 45 degrees. You'll see when they pull the rope out of the way how steep the quick draws hang out of the wall. It's like sometimes they're behind you, some of the longer ones, when you're trying to clip, and it's like, there's a quick draw here somewhere. Like,
yeah, really 3D climbing on offer. Some of the routes are going right through the middle of that big blue volume in the center of the wall. This one skirts underneath it. Very traversey. Pretty much the entire, or the steepest part of the overhanging route is a traverse. And you have to go out to the right. So through those yellow holds on the wall, that's where you start climbing straight up instead of sideways again. You can see Alberto going towards the bottom of the route, checking out the moves. So the aim of the game in lead climbing is to go from the bottom to the top without falling off along the way. And you have to clip all of the quick draws with the rope and the quick draws, the metal things hanging off from the wall. You can't use the rope itself to pull up on all those quick draws. You have to use only the holds themselves.
so you really see how this route snakes around on that picture there. And the reason they do that is to put some more moves in and make it more and more tiring.
And it increases the length, doesn't it? Because although the wall is 15 meters high, the route itself is much more than 15 meters.
Yeah. When you take, it's 15 vertical meters, so it's even more, including the overhand. So there's a bit of trigonometry from school there.
Maths. Now, let's talk about the difference between boulder and lead, because back in the day, boulderers were all about power, physicality, and lead climbers had a lot of endurance, but we're seeing them sort of combine more, and these athletes are good at both disciplines, aren't they?
Yeah, like the moves on these routes are so difficult now that you can't really hang around on the moves and shake out. You just got to keep moving through sequences, and occasionally they'll get a bit of a rest, I say in inverted commas, because some people would probably struggle to even hold on in that position. It's so impressive what they can shake out on these days.
Yeah, well, let's see if some of them can find a rest. Adam Andra gets a pat on the head there. There is a potential knee bar into the second scoring zone. We'll see whether anyone spots that or even can use it. It's pretty horrible to me. So now the athletes go back into this holding area. And something I noticed when I walked back there was that you go from the noise of the crowd and then you return to this back area and suddenly there's marble. It's cool. It's very different.
It's the most amazing holding area I've ever seen. It's so nice. So just having that respite from the heat is lovely.
Exactly, seeing the athletes hiding in the shadow of those columns. It is actually a bit cooler here in the stadium than it's been. The sun hidden behind clouds today, which will be a relief for those athletes. And now you can see some of them putting on harnesses, and that's the main difference between boulder and lead. Harnesses are used to tie the rope into, because if they fall off on a lead wall and you hit the ground from 15 meters up, well, it's a problem. If you fall off from bouldering, it's not as high and it's a lovely squidgy mat to catch you, so a different style of climbing. And we are watching some of our potential contenders. Sam Avizu there, leaping through boulder number 1, climbing very well at the moment.
Yeah, he's looking really good, like really focused.
That's the fingernail top to boulder number 1. Some really nasty looking finishes from the athletes there. Adam Andra as well. Look at that. Is he in the screw hole there? Or is that no? He's behind it.
Right? On the left side of the hole.
Nasty, nasty finish. And those two legends shared a lovely moment earlier on, both of them topping out two different boulders at the same time and allowing them to celebrate together. Well, my spelling isn't the best, but I'm pretty sure that sign says loud, and the audience is definitely... Does it say loud? No, it doesn't even say loud. Lost. I think they're having to readjust on stage. Anyway, that is our top 8. And the athletes will come out. Oh, it is loud. Thank goodness for that. So that's our top 8. Shank will be out first. Andra last. It doesn't change position from the bouldering, so it's not the winners from the boulder who go last in this, which is...
No, I think they were trying to keep the rest even, so...
Yeah, that's a good point, because the athletes will want...
It's such a short gap between the end of boulder and the start of lead. So.
Yeah, it's been less, well, just pretty much half an hour. There we go. The other side said loud, I promise you. I can read. Our mascot there, hyping up the audience. So Shank starts putting on his shoes. The belayers are there in the pink harnesses. Their job is to give slack to the climber as they climb and catch them if they fall. Sam Abazu putting on the chalk bag. And let's see if we can have a little listen to what they're saying here, because they're going through the beta.
Like this one, this other one, shoulder, custom, beat, second one, right foot, extend, maybe you put the flat, right? Yeah. This,
There you go, you caught some of that. The athletes discuss it, and in the same way as with the bouldering, they do share the beta, they try to work out the best way to do it, but Shank, and when any of the athletes walk out onto the stage, it's time for them to be on their own. It's just them against that wall. So here is the young French athlete, currently sitting in a good position on the leaderboard. And now the crowd, having been suitably worked up, drop into silence. Like a kid with sugar, isn't it? Just wind them up and let them go.
Yeah.
So Shank is underway on the lead side of this combined style format. Now you can see his score, 80.5. Now that will stay the same until he gets to the first scoring zone. And the first scoring zone is far away.
Yeah, apparently they've not really backed off the start of this route either, like they had in the women's. Like it's apparently like full semi-final level is the word.
Yeah, that is the word.
Hard.
They're not necessarily expecting them to fall, but it will tire them out. So that is the medal positions. You can see it indicated there. That's where he needs to get to.
That's for the provisional position, like.
Yeah, that will change as the athletes climb. Look how bad that hand is. Potential knee bar maybe in here. It looks like it from that angle. Maybe a bit too far out. Knee is when you press the knee in. Yeah, with the height, that's true. Yeah. So the scoring zone near the beginning of the blue triangle, that's where the athlete's aiming for. You can see the line there. But quite a tricky beginning, this.
Yeah.
And these slopery pinches coming up. And remember, if the athlete falls now, and has got that quick draw all tucked around behind him, and that's an awkward heel. Now, is allowed to grab the quick draw like this, but he's having a nightmare clipping it. Gets in, yeah, he's allowed to grab it, but not waiting. Double toes.
Although anytime you get a heel on a lead route, it takes so much weight off your arms. This is why you see him putting it on all the time, at any opportunity.
And you can see the toes, similar kind of thing with that. Or is it less
toe up is less so, but...
There is the heel Dave was talking about, so that will allow him to rest a little.
And pulls him, easier to pull himself towards the pocket as well. So.
Now this move, the route set has told me, isn't as difficult as it looks, but it's certainly dramatic.
There for the show.
And now will start scoring points as he enters the zone. These 5 moves are worth 1 hot point each. And you can see his score will start now to build. He's got 3 already, and every move higher, he'll get more of a score. So he now nears the end of the first scoring zone.
After this clip. Right.
Oh, yeah, true, he's missed it. You have to clip all the quick draws, and you have to clip them in sequence. So Mejdi with a couple of early quick draw issues that are making me nervous. And now these holes worth 2 points each. Oh, and he does fall. So was that do you think that was a pop, or?
It looked like his foot slipped. I think his left foot went.
It's always tricky with slips.
Someone put a load of bananas on the wall, didn't they? So.
Yeah, true. It's always interesting with a slip, whether it's a straight slip or whether it's a slip because of fatigue.
He moved before the foot was weighted, I think.
And we'll see that in a sec. Well, he did score, but not as high as he would have liked. So this was this really dramatic section of the route, swinging under just before the scoring zone as well, flicking yourself over it. So you got a chance to rest underneath. This was in the points right now. You can see the points with that pink line, and then this is the highest scoring. Watch the foot.
His heel pop.
He wasn't really on. Do you think he should have been on the screw-on more, or?
I haven't actually seen it inside the.
Let's see it again.
Yeah, he was just above it, wasn't he?
Yeah, so a bit awkward from Mejdi. And look, has. Oh, Mejdi knows. I mean,
yeah, he knows that won't be enough.
No, absolutely not. I mean, not with some of the climb. Well, we don't know. I mean, it's the first climber in. And obviously, Mejdi is at the top, 95, but that is out of a possible 200. So there's more points to be had as Sam Abazu comes onto the stage. Past those medals.
Past the medals. You're getting engraved with your own name on as well.
Oh, very nice. I think they're good-looking medals, actually. So Sam, once again, and if you're a Sam Abazu supporter, be nervous down low, because this start is not straightforward. Immediately in with the heels, though. Sam crosses through. Now, if you use a hold, you get a 0.1 added to your score. And the definition of used is always an interesting one, because it is up to the judges.
Jamie, you have to make a positive movement towards the next hold. If your hips need to move towards the hold, and you seem to be trying to do it.
Yeah, you can't just snatch up towards it in sort of blind hope.
The most common appeals debate going on.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that if it becomes more relevant. But yeah, that's what the judges have to have a look out for. And he has got a knee in there.
Yeah, it doesn't like it's taking very much off, but.
The athlete's not allowed knee pads like you might see sometimes in outdoor climbing, where they have a pad section with some rubber on it to make that move less painful and more sticky. Bumping out under this volume, and it's so awkward. This is being pushed back from the wall. You have to make this clip with the toe in or the heel. And now Sam gets ready to jump as he sets himself up. Not really an opportunity to rest yet. Spectacular sequence, launching. Here he goes. The feet will kick out. He hangs off that pocket. He does find a place to rest.
Yeah. Casual. Looks like he stood on the ground.
Yes, true. I think I prefer Mejdi's dynamic style through that. Almost at the points. Wait, sorry, he's in the points now. You can see that number 1. So he starts scoring. 84.6 now, his score as he crosses through. Now more points coming up, 2 points for every move. Oh, that's interesting, kicks the quick draw with his foot. You see the athletes flick it like that sometimes.
Yeah, usually with their hand, it's not very often with their foot. But
and why are they doing that?
They're basically just trying to take a bit more. So if he'd had to clip that, reach all the way to that, it would be much more powerful. So it's just saving a bit of energy.
By getting it closer to him.
Closer, so they catch it as it swings towards him.
Advanced tactics there from these guys. Yeah, you can do that. You're not allowed to weight it or pull on it. Something I do regularly when I climb. So this is where Mejdi had his slip. Watch the heel. different method as you try to heal the left toe.
Like, he's a few moves past now.
Also, Sam moves into the lead, 103.6.
Still looking really calm, isn't he?
Yeah, and a good position. You want to be fairly high in his quick draws. If you're reaching above your head, it's harder to clip. And Sam is into the big points. Falls on the second pinch. So a better score, moves into provisional gold. And you see that point flick up because he used the hold. So a progressive movement, center of mass or hips towards the next hold. Must be the smallest French flag they could have found, that one. Great support from the crowd. It's even bigger than it was earlier, if that's possible. Thousands here in the stadium. Sam, as you said, looked calm throughout that. Penciling his legs backwards, quickly bringing it back on, straight into heel, and he found a useful rest under there. Let's have a look at this. So he flicked it with his toes, getting it swinging, allowing him to more easily grab it. Makes a clip and moves on.
Yeah, that was very smart calming from him there. Like, it would have been very easy to panic and just go, oh, I can't reach it. And
yeah, and it's always such a stressful time when an athlete can't clip a quick draw. Not because it's dangerous, just because you know how much energy it's taking.
It's utterly sapping, like. And clipping the quick draw is almost like a move in itself on these routes.
Yeah, and there is a point where you're not allowed to go past as well. There's a point where it's possible to clip it. And the athletes will immediately realise that because it is impossible to clip it. You can't free solo up this thing. You've got to clip them all. So the athletes now, and again, different from what we saw earlier where they had to return to that isolation area, their comp is done now. And therefore they can watch the others climb, which can be stressful if you're in a good position. Now, Philip Shenk has it all to do here this afternoon. Last place coming into this league final. Only a top will do for him. And even then, it's probably not going to be enough. So Philip is under pressure.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's all gone now. Maybe it's like...
Yeah, true. Maybe he's just relaxed out there. No expectations from Philip. He can just enjoy it. So there is the B layer I was talking about earlier. And his job is to keep that climber safe. I've got to think, that route setting and judging has got to be the three most stressful jobs in the stadium. Forget being an athlete. So Philip, quick through this opening couple of moves. Just try to keep calm, try not to over-grip and get pumped early on. You might think that holding onto the hold as hard as you possibly can is the way forward, but that just tires you out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about holding on with the minimum amount of energy you can. Usually on these routes there's a little uncomfortable move somewhere just to unsettle you, and
kicking that over.
You've got to remember that it's not that hard. It's okay.
So Philip reaches down. This is where there's a kind of a knee bar by pressing your knee into there, the toe on the volume, but it's not great. Facing really the wrong direction. It's probably
the foot's pretty bad. It's hard to get a lot of pressure back into your knee.
Yeah, probably more worth just doing what he's doing there. Hanging off with that straight arm, allowing him to rest. So look at that score, 33.6 is what he's got. And there is the positions he needs to get to. So gold at the moment anyway, so we need to get pretty much to the top of the wall to get into provisional gold. Yeah. Philip on this awkward clip now. Does it with a toe, leans backwards.
Again, I think that's sort of one of those moves I was just talking about. It's like, you want to clip it earlier because it's on a flatter wall, but I think the position you clip in is actually fairly nice. It's just a little bit higher than you want to be.
Yeah, so he commits to it, and it's committing as well, isn't it? You're leaning back on that toe. You want to take a hand off at that point.
Straight into that sequence, no hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, Philip is so strong. Leading with the feet at the moment. Oh, big slip. Now that won't have tired him necessarily, but it certainly will have raised his heart rate a bit.
Maybe a little bit out this far, like you automatically just snatch in really hard, like as hard as you can. Just took that earlier.
So he's through the first scoring zone. He's starting to rack up those points. He pauses here. He's completely horizontal on the wall. This is where Mejdi fell, the first really difficult sequence.
Put a toe on instead.
Yeah, 3 athletes, 3 different methods through here. Finding rest where he can. It's either smart climbing or an indication he's tired. There's the last scoring zone line. Philip is breathing heavy now. Last third of the route.
Trying to climb through this sequence as quickly as he can. Trying to get to a slightly better hold.
Provisional bronze coming up. Out into the pinches, kicks the foot to the right. This is good from Philip.
So we got hard crossover here.
Not a lot for the feet either. You're really just smearing on the wall.
All the weight goes onto one hand.
Has to cut loose, then gets a heel, and really needs to trust that heel to rock up.
Really hard.
Now that's the last quick draw on the wall. It's just pure climbing from now on. Oh, look how
it's a bad hole.
So horrible. Slopey and blocked. Out to the pinch, but what a performance from Philip. He knew what he had to do, and he's doing it. That's provisional gold. Finally goes 1 hole below the top, but you know what? That is a heck of a performance. And the crowd, I mean, I can barely hear myself talk here in the stadium.
I think that's what we all want to see in these league comps, people fighting for move after move.
That was really exciting. So Philip comes down. He is in gold medal at the moment. He's basically done everything he can do apart from topping the thing out.
I think his left hand actually popped, I think.
Let's have a look.
This is lower down, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the quick draws we were chatting about. One of the blocked holds. That top one put in by the root setters to make it even more difficult. So you have to be more precise.
Yeah, it's more precise. You can't kind of flex your fingers up and crimp it. It's
swings down it really good through this part. That's the scoring zone, the first one. Coach screaming up at his athlete. And then finally, yeah, it was a pop off that left. I think he had more in the tank there. Maybe.
A little bit, yeah, maybe.
Sometimes
I think definitely pumped as well. Like, probably couldn't squeeze quite as hard as he'd like to, but...
Well, that's it. Sometimes slips happen for a reason, don't they? It's not always just like luck. It's sometimes that you've just taken a bit of pressure off or you're tired.
You've got to pull out so hard on that hole as well at that stage.
That crimp's a nasty one he was going to as well. So, happy, really good from him in the lead comp. You can see that.
Yeah, he'll be really happy with that.
Right, well, this is probably the first man who really... We had him down as one of the favourites for this comp, and Jakob Schubert can grind out a route.
Yeah. Especially when it's got crimps on it.
It's called Mr. Championship because he wins on the biggest stages as this man. Bronze medal in the Olympics, multiple world championships to his name, and he's here for the European champs in front of a massive crowd here in Munich.
I think I've seen him do 15 moves with his elbows up by his ears, like, to win a world championship.
It just keeps going, doesn't it? So nods to the Bilet, she's ready, and he is underway. Had a bit of a disappointing finals in the lead for him. Would have wanted to have gone a bit higher on it.
For Jakob, it's all about controlling his emotions now.
He's just got so much experience to draw from, doesn't he?
It's like he'll know he'll be capable of doing this route, just whether he can execute it.
Is it Jakob Schubert's day? Clips low, everyone doing the same thing. 2 cups in a row. Doesn't get the knee, doesn't need it, doesn't want it. Oh, now thinks about it. He's just got to scrub him with the right. So not a full knee bar, not locked in, but just enough to take a bit off those arms. This is the committing clip.
Clip low.
There we go, it is possible. Don't need to commit, everyone. One of the best things about this sport is the different methods the athletes use.
Yeah, depending on your body size, like what your strengths are, like.
So that's 4th place coming up. Here we go, as he drops down, swings through, enjoying it up there. That move to an average, normal person just looks outrageous, but to them it's fairly simple, isn't it?
Yeah, and the scale of the route, the holds are pretty big, and they're pretty comfy hanging around with no feet on it.
The simplistic sequences really good for us watching. Up to this quick draw, and Jakob is scoring now. Watch it tick up. So there's the positions he needs to get to for the gold, silver and bronze. Provisional, we've got a few to come. Only halfway through this lead final. Dave Barron's joining me in the box here, Team GB coach and athlete. And it has been a brilliant comp so far. The last event for climbing for 2022 in the European Champs. Jakob clipping. Oh, has he wrong hand himself? No, he hasn't.
No,
Shakes out.
I think Jakob will quite like this section. He definitely likes to crimp.
Yeah, watch those fingers. They'll be bearing down on the small holds.
Resting where everyone else has just been go, go, go.
It's just outrageous, isn't it? The time is ticking. The athletes get 6 minutes to do this route. So we've got 2 minutes 45 left. I don't think time is going to play a difference in this. Look how that heel as well.
So Jakob is resting on something the size of a door frame now. Yeah, just to give you some
perspective on it, yeah. Out he comes towards the 3rd and final scoring zone. The most points coming up. Gets the clip in now. These crimps are sharp, according to the route setters, and he'll be enjoying that.
Yeah, in a way it's almost a little bit easier on the lead route when it's a bit sharper to relax, because you don't feel like you're going to slip.
So he moves into the gold medal position, 135, but he'll want to put some distance between him and the rest.
He's going to want to top.
Yeah, I think he'll be disappointed with anything but this move is awkward as he gets the heel, rocks up to the pinch. And he can shake out, which is good.
Nice.
Turns the lip of this lead walk. Drops the knee down, and this is looking strong from Jakob, but this next crimp is a savage one. And a big jump to finish. Springs, and he peels off the top hold.
Yeah, his right hand just went as he jumped.
Wow, 175.5.
Will it be enough?
out of a possible 200. Yeah, he's going to be nervously watching. Hands on his hips, and I said he might be disappointed with anything but a top, and he looks it a bit. The judges down there. He knows them all very well by this point in his career. Let's watch some of these moves from Jakob. He found rests where I don't think many other people are going to be resting.
And that's Jakob's style as well. He likes to rest his way at the root, and he's really good at managing the pump and so on. So, he knows from route reading that there's a section coming up where he needs to save his right hand, so he'll make sure he kind of saves that a little bit and takes it out lower down a little bit.
So great work from Jakob Schubert. Close, but not quite. Just shouting encouragement up. They won't be telling him how to do it, but they will be giving him props. And then interestingly, this quick draw, the one he clipped last, as he peels off, that was put in a bit last minute by the route set, as they wanted to avoid the massive plummet that we watched Janja do the other day, because it is a wild swing up there. It's safe because you're falling through the air, but...
Yeah, that would have been exciting. Maybe Jakob would prefer it not to be there.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing is with having a quick draw like that on the head wall is it's awkward to clip.
Yeah.
Oh, close. Final move, he fully committed, didn't he?
His right hand just ripped off at the final second.
He was on, he was on, he was on, he was off.
Right hand there.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Just killed the momentum.
Oh, I just lost him that inch he needed more.
Such fine margins in these things.
That was a good spot. Well, Jakob will enjoy that. He loves climbing on the biggest stage. Right, final four then. Nikolai Uznik is up next. More of a boulderer.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to be speedy.
Can't win.
Can't win, no. He did win the boulder singles comp earlier on. Well, that is the beach volleyball behind. You can see the crowds who are watching the climbing hanging off the top of that stadium. Climbing creating quite a buzz here in the heart of the city.
Oh, it's such a good crowd in Munich. We've done several years of Boulder World Cups over at the Olympic Stadium, which is unbelievable.
It's really special.
But I think they've probably matched it with this venue.
It's all right, isn't it? Nikolai underway, and that is one of the medals, or some of the medals. So you can see the graphic down on the right. Boulder is worth 100, max lead is 100, so the max score is 200 points. Shows you how close Jakob came to that 175.6, the best so far. A few to go though. So Nikolai will enjoy that section. Remember to clip, yeah. He's looking a little bit awkward down low. Generally, you see boulders handling this by just climbing really quickly.
Yeah.
That is pretty much the standard, isn't it? Yeah. It's better at power moves than
generally you have a certain amount of time on the wall, and it doesn't matter how many moves you do in that time. It's
yeah, Dave here was an athlete. Well, he still are an athlete, but
just not so much anymore.
Yeah. Right, Nikolai biting the rope just to pull out a bit more slack in order to reach up to clip that. Like Jakob did, clipping it low rather than a high toe.
They will have it this together. So.
The foot's shaking, that's how much pressure he's putting through it. So, will he use the possible rest here? Looking a bit tired as he comes through.
Needs to clip somehow.
And now he finds it. Hard to see what he's doing with his feet. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman. That's a good angle. So he almost jams it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, and a very high left heel to rest. Oh, Nikolai falls just coming into the first scoring zone. There's a good effort.
Savage scoring, isn't it?
This is the thing, he does all that work, and basically I think he got 1 point there. Well, that's the difference. Nikolai just shakes his head, but considering that man won a gold medal earlier in the boulder, and you can see how strapped up that left arm is. He suffered with cramp, getting treatment between every boulder before.
I think this cut loose is what did him. Like,
But why did that do? Was it just tiring?
so all the weight is going to his right hand on that. The left hand's on an undercut, so all your body weight is effectively going to that right hand.
So just burnt him out earlier.
Yeah, this is the difference where the boulder specialists don't have that ability to kind of shake out and get a load back. When it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, they emptied the tank quite quick, and that rock up on the heel was a bit desperate. He hit the crimp well, but it was just nothing left, yeah. So, early fall from Nikolai, but now we move on to someone else who can win this, Alberto Lopez, who's coming out next. Again, banging that left arm, he's going to enjoy a bit of rest on that now, recovery time. Well, there is Alberto. 61 his score at the moment, and not in the 80s, so he's got more work to do than some of them.
Again, can't win.
No, can't win, sorry, yeah, you're right. We'll want to position high up on this. It's a really good setup for the Olympic qualifiers we see coming next year. Alberto just remembering the route. Yeah, Jakob's 175, so he won't be able to get over that by scoring that 100. And only get 161.7 max. Could still be a podium though, depending on what happens with the others. How much endurance does Alberto have here this afternoon? Here, some climbers call it resistance, some endurance, but it's just that ability to hold on when your arms are burning.
Yeah, there's a lot of terms banded around.
We've even made some up today ourselves. It's all allowed.
As long as you define it, it's okay, isn't it?
We'll go with that. Onto that bad right crimp, but then an opportunity to shake out here.
Didn't want to.
Yeah, moved quickly through it. Could mean a few things. I mean, he's resting on, well, he's chalking on the worst crimp. Interesting.
He's super fit. I don't think he really knows what pump is. So.
Yeah, I think he would have seen a rest later on he'd prefer to use. Because the thing is, we say rest, it's not like you're getting everything back in that position.
It reminds me a little bit of Ramon. Never saw him take. It's only shortcut and just move on.
So those are the climbers who have already climbed on this wall. Alberto into the points now. Scoring from every move he makes. Interesting with that toe. Doesn't look at all restful that, but it's pretty good. Into the big points, 2 from now on. Kicks that quick draw as before. And as we see, not possible to win gold because it can't beat Jakob's 175.6. He can get silver and bronze, depending. Alberto with the heel. won't know. Obviously, he can't see that graphic. All he will be focused on is just getting as high as possible.
Well, it's a great shot, like really blocked up against the hold. You can't get your fingers behind it.
Yeah, horrible. And check out our camera, because there are spots of rain on that camera lens. Now, rain is always interesting. It's not going to affect the wall necessarily, depending on how hard it is, but it does just bring an element of moisture into the air.
Yeah, the humidity will have gone up a little bit, although it's been pretty humid here today, so hopefully not.
Yeah, but a few spots kicking around. Not what you want, especially if you feel it. But Alberto is ignoring it as he climbs upwards. There's the silver medal position. He's into the medals now. Provisional.
Well, he'll be sheltered from any of that by the big panel above him, so.
Final quick draw in. Just the head wall, that last, still overhanging, but less so section of wall, but the holes get smaller and sharper and nastier.
Yeah, he's fighting hard.
This is brilliant. But he might be about to go. It looks awkward and he does slip. Slaps for the 0.0.
Yeah, he didn't have the thumb on.
So thumb missing.
Yeah.
You can see a bit of rain. So the climbers have a chat. Alberto breathes. 151.7, Alberto's total score for this afternoon. This was down low, where he chose not really to rest. All of the athletes taking chalk bags up. Different from Boulder, where the moves are shorter and you don't really run out of chalk. On a lead wall, if you were to climb without a chalk bag, which a certain Janja Garnbret did once and still won.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, no. She forgot her chalk bag, but the athletes chalk up as they climb, and look how bad those holds are. Wonderful shots from the production crew here in Munich, just showing off how strong, how good these athletes are. As the rain starts to drip, Alberto takes the fall.
So Jakob is guaranteed a medal. Question is what colour?
Yeah, so our final position starting to become clear. The puzzle piece all fitting together. Just 2 climbers to go now. Alberto takes the fall. Luka Potičar is out next from Slovenia. There's the top. Didn't take that massive plummet that Jakob did. A lot of people, when they start climbing, myself included, I will be honest, a little bit scared of falling sometimes. These athletes doesn't seem to really factor into them.
Yeah.
Are they just used to it at this point, or does it?
I think you're used to it. You're not even really thinking about it. You're just trying to climb as high as you can, and all of a sudden you're on the end of the rope, and it's like, oh. And when the walls are steep as well, you just fall into space. Yeah, it's actually a much safer place to fall off than a vertical wall, because you just don't hit anything. So get on the steep walls, people.
There we go, if you want to learn how to fall. And full practice is a thing. They will practice it, and when you're starting out, it's worth learning how to fall, because climbing tense and scared, it really messes you up. Now, the rain is falling heavily here, but it's okay, because that wall is protected. We'd only really be worried if it was sort of blowing into the wall sideways. The crowd.
It's not affected the crowd at all. They're still
There are a few jumpers going on, a couple of jackets, but generally no one's going anywhere. And why would you? Final 2 athletes of this final, they are underway.
in fact, Jakob's guaranteed silver, isn't he?
Yes, he is, because Luka can't get up into the podium spot. Well, he can get to the podium and get into bronze, but yeah, nothing else. There's Shenk, currently in bronze medal position. Dual text there means you just have to be careful. You don't want to stand on the wrong bit of that. No one wants an early fall. A lot smoother than Nikolai was through this section. We realise how difficult it is, though, when you're watching someone struggle a bit more.
I think Luca might like this route quite a lot.
Well, he is a specialist, isn't he? Didn't have the greatest bouldering round, but this is where he can really shine, pull something back.
And again, really good on crunks.
DJ drops a tune in the background. The audience not dampened by the rain. They're up for it. Easily through that clip. It's a bit tricky. So here we go, the dramatic sequence coming up on the pockets. Potential rest before. Oh, and a cut loose though. Seem to control it.
I think he'll be able to fake that back out with his.
Commits to the swing now. No going back from this point onwards. Ooh, a little bit awkward into the pocket, stacking those fingers. There is space for two.
I think he's got three in there, I think.
Ah, okay.
Just weirdly stacked the middle finger on the back of the index and ring.
It looked odd, didn't it? Into the points. Clock just keeping him on his toes. Can't hang around forever on this, and nor could you. The holds are just too bad. Into the second scoring zone. Looking for a knee bar down there.
I think he had his hand just wrapped around the rope and he was just trying to get it out of the way.
Yeah, rope management can, and we've seen a couple of times this championship just getting in the way, causing some problems. Don't want to get a leg stuck in the wrong place. You can sort of burn your leg when you fall. Clipping up behind his head. He's into the 2 point per move zone. Leaning backwards, using his core to keep the tension.
Still looking really fast.
Yeah, still hasn't moved off the bottom spot though.
Yeah.
This is the thing with this style of competition and scoring system. If you do less well in that boulder, you have so much to do coming into the lead.
Yeah, almost into seventh now.
And now starting to move up the rankings. So there is bronze.
Actually 5 points per hold on this, so everyone he gets.
Yeah, really starts picking him up, that leaderboard. Bit of an awkward clip this, right by his face. Gets it in. And that elbow starting to come up a little.
Yeah, starting to fight a little bit now.
Rotates out. He's going to have to do quite a big move and a cut loose into the heel. And this just looks so awkward. He's going to go up with the right hand into the pinch, gets it. Keep the pressure on that heel. Try not to let it pop as he comes out into the pinch. He's not clipping, which means he's almost done here. Well, Dave, hang on a sec. Why wouldn't he have wanted to go for the clip there?
I guess if you know you've only got kind of 2 or 3 moves left, then you could use all that energy trying to make the clip. It's like, I can't make go to clip, so I may as well just do some more moves.
So that made the decision to go, look, I'm not going to clip it. I can't finish the route necessarily, but I'm just going to go higher.
How much energy the clip takes out of you.
Absolutely. Well, a big part of this lead route, clearly. Yeah, really fighting. This is down low. This is into the scoring points. The shadow light in the wall, the spotlight on him a bit darker here in the stadium. We haven't had this heat and sunshine that we've enjoyed through the rest of the comp. It's just the weather saying goodbye to us properly. Just a bit of drama for us.
Some Brits partying about it over there.
Send them home. No more rain dances, please. Well, just like that, we are on to our final athletes. As we watch Luca's last moves, desperation up high on the headwalk. And now, as he has done more than a few times in his career, Adam Andra is the last athlete out onto the stage. He can win, and he wants to win.
The new competition.
Everyone else is relaxing.
Friday.
And it's between Adam and Jakob for the gold and silver medal. Well, Dave, I don't want to big us up, but we called this fairly early on that it could be between them. Here we go from Adam Andra. Onto the stage he goes. A big man and a big event. A big moment for Adam. Gold or silver? Just looking nervous. Far more nervous than Adam is. Adam can actually do something about it.
Adam's just doing his thing. He's happy.
Well, he's currently in seventh.
Not even guaranteed gold yet, is it? So
no, exactly. Let's see what can happen. The rain falls. It won't affect Adam, though. There's a strange atmosphere in the stadium right now. We're going to check out this hold. This is where Adam Andra needs to get to. That final crimp up on the lead wall. It's not the most wonderful hold to have to get to.
Basically the same point of Jakob, but...
I don't know about you watching at home, I am nervous here.
I need to chalk up.
I do, yeah. Sweaty hands in the commentary box. Adam Andra underway. And remember, no points at all down low. Adam cruises through the initial moves. And you said he's taller, and that knee bar looks way better. First one to really utilize it properly, and you can see what that does to his arms.
Yeah, a good knee bar, you can basically take your hands off him.
Oh, I thought Adam, yeah, he does click down low. Heel hook as he shakes out between moves, micro shaking.
Yeah, he won't actually be pumped yet, but that's all part of the management of... If you do a little one every time, then it builds up to quite a lot.
Tactics from Adam as he gets those feet lodged into the crack-like feature in there. Double stacked, I think, and a huge high clip. Smart climb from Adam. I don't know if he spotted that, but that was a bit risky. Drops down into the pinch. Well, if we thought things were tense when Yanya was in this position yesterday, this seems even more exciting.
Yeah, it looks like Adam is feeling a little bit of pressure on it.
Yeah, a couple of little errors from him. Will they stack up? Oh, look at this. A little half fumble. Jakob Schubert, remember, is currently in gold medal position. He's the guy in a black hat on the left of his screen. That's the heel Mejdi popped on.
Funny position for Jakob. Like, he'll want Adam to do well, but also be willing him to fall off at the same time. It's
Yeah, he's got a camera in his face. So Adam goes upwards. Remember, that gold position is up there on the head wall. That's what Adam wants to get to, needs to get to for a gold medal. Sixth at the moment, 110 his score. Now moves into the big points, 5 for each move from now onwards as he drops over to the right, looking punch actually. Yeah. Right, Adam needs to recover something here. Ooh, that right arm, tense as he shakes, and he's going to drop back down. He is pumped.
Trying to shake out.
Adam needs to find some recovery here. Crosses through. This heel might be a bit awkward for him. Needs to bump up with the right hand, shaking all the way as he gets higher. Last quick draw in. He's in silver now. Deep
Yes,
breaths.
that's
Yeah. Can he find something in the last few meters of this wall? This could be it. No, he's still there. That's gold. Oh, and he drops it going up.
Gold, silver.
Jakob Schubert.
Jakob Schubert again.
Mr. Championship, he takes another one. And listen to that sound, that's not thunder from the rain, that is your crowd as they drum their feet on the grandstand. Silver for Adam Andra, gold for Jakob Schubert.
And bronze for Alberto.
What a time, mate, to peak your training. Yeah, that will mean so much to him. Hugs his teammate out on the stage. And Adam, well, I mean, he'll be satisfied but not happy. What an end to that final. Well, that's as close as it came.
I don't think I've ever seen Adam kind of pump like that.
No, I haven't either. To drop back down and shake out again.
Just to show how hard doing ordinary days, 8, 9 days of competition is.
Yeah, oh, I'm sad to say goodbye. We have come to the end now. This is where it all started to come undone for Adam. He dropped back down to shake out as the rain began to pour. Adam had to fight up to the crimps. I thought he was off the move before. He managed to hold on to that.
Yeah. You're on this hold for so long. Well, to do the move, I think you have to walk your feet back, and he was just like, no.
Yeah, he was slapping, wasn't he? And he put a bit of a foot pop as well, sending him down. Alberto Lopez takes the bronze. Oh, look at that celebration there from Jakob. Well,
roller coaster ride for Jakob. I think he thought he'd messed it up, and then
yeah, he looked disappointed, didn't he?
Sit and wait.
Well, there's our top three. We will leave you now, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say thank you for Dave for joining me here in the commentary box. Absolute pleasure to have you as always. Thank you. And as we say goodbye to comp climbing at the European Champs for 2022, we look back on a wonderful week of the best in the world. That's the confirmation of our top three and the rest of the results. Thank you for watching all of the action here from Munich. We'll return for more World Cup action in the next couple of months. My name is Matt Groom. I'm here with Dave Barons, and we will see you very soon.
Jakob Schubert, congratulations, Glückwunsch, Europameister. Hier in München am Ende vor diesem Publikum. Ich glaube, glücklicher können Sie nicht sein. Sie haben lange darauf warten müssen bis zum letzten Moment.
Ja, ist aber Wahnsinn. Jetzt der Abschluss. Die ganzen 10 Tage in München haben so viel Spaß gemacht. Jede Runde war so geil mit dem Publikum. Ist aber ein Wahnsinn, was da abgeht. Aber natürlich hat bis jetzt die Medaille gefällt. Es war gerade der 4. im Vorstieg. Schon ein bisschen Enttäuschung, nachdem ich das Semifinale gewonnen habe. Und ja, jetzt wollte ich nochmal alles geben an dem Finaltag. Ich habe gedacht, jetzt wird er Zweiter, aber dass jetzt echt nur der Sieg wird, ist einfach unglaublich. Und so Abschluss. Vielen Dank an euch alle, weil boah, macht das Spaß, da zu klettern. Wahnsinn.
Jakob, Sie sind der Premierensieger in dieser auf offizieller großen Bühne dieser neuen Disziplin in Paris 2024. Das muss ja fast ein Ausrufezeichen sein für jemanden, der so sehr auf Medaillen und große Titel steht, oder?
Ja, es ist natürlich jetzt ein mega Test gewesen. Es war für uns alle das erste Mal, das Format zu testen. Aber natürlich, das Bouldern und ein Vorstieg, die 2 Disziplinen kennen wir gut. Also das Einzige, was anders ist, ist mit den Punkten zusammenzählen. Aber da machen wir uns nicht so einen Kopf. Wir probieren alles geben und heute ist super ausgegangen für mich.
Jakob, 2 brief questions in English for our international audience. Congratulations, European champion, with the last move. That's what you can say. You had to wait very long for that.
Yes, such an amazing competition. I've been here for 10 days now, climbing many rounds, and every single round it was just so incredibly fun to climb on in front of this crazy crowd. Because even in qualification, it feels like a final because it's already packed and it's just so enjoyable. But obviously the medal was still missing. I was kind of disappointed with the 4th place in lead after winning the semifinal round. And yeah, I'm so happy that I already had like good memories from this because of the crowd and the experience. But now it's like obviously an extra good one because I also won a gold medal.
One more question, Jakob. You are the first winner in a new discipline that we will see in Paris 2024. There is no climber or almost no climber in the world who loves big competitions as you love. Is that a big hint what is possible in Paris maybe for you in 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. That would be amazing. But yeah, obviously it is my big goal, long-term goal to qualify for Paris and try to fight for an Olympic medal again. The experience in Tokyo was incredible, so I really want to go to the Olympic Games again. And yeah, the combined format is kind of special again, of course. Having one bad bouldering round might cost you a lot, but today I had a good one and it was enough for the victory, and I hope there will be many more times in the future. Let's see. I give my all.
Thank you very much, European champion boulder and lead, Jakob Schubert!
vor ihm gehen.
IFSC Präsident. The Champions Flowers will be presented by. Die Champions Flowers werden überreicht von Verena Dietl, dritte Bürgermeisterin der Landeshauptstadt München. Bronze Medalist representing Spain. Gewinner der Bronzemedaille für Spanien, Alberto Lopez. Silver medalist representing Czech Republic. Gewinner der Silbermedaille für die Tschechische Republik, Andra. Gold medalist and European champion representing Austria. Gewinner der Goldmedaille und Europameister für Österreich, Jakob Schubert. The National Anthem of Austria, die Nationalhymne von Österreich. noch nicht gehen. Wir haben noch was gleich, Lukas, aber das dauert noch einen kleinen Moment. Solange
Ich bleib da.
Genau, dann erzähl uns noch ein bisschen was, ganz wichtig, Ausgang, bitte nicht den hinten zum Volleyballcourt. Wer hier gehen will, der geht dort drüben neben der Liedwand raus, da kann man dann auch nochmal an Jakob Schubert vorbeilaufen. Ja, Lukas, das war faszinierend, oder?
Ich erzähle ein bisschen was, ja, das war faszinierend. Wir sehen hier auch nochmal, und das ist ja auch eine Geschichte für sich, diese kleine Blume. Blume, weißt du noch, was es ist?
Ich nochmal. Das hat ganz viel Glück gezeigt.
Ja, so in die Richtung, so in die Richtung. In jedem Fall werden diese Blumen eingepflanzt. Vielleicht macht das selber Jakob Schubert. Es gibt im Olympiapark einen eigenen Champions Garden. Da werden diese Blumen eingetopft. Da kann dann jeder hin. Jeder Athlet wird da eingeladen. Jede Athletin, die so ein Blümchen bekommen hat, wird eingeladen und darf dann einpflanzen. Besuch geben. Das ist so ein bisschen die nachhaltige Antwort auf die Schildblumen, die in der Regenhütte der Blütenstationen wieder vernichtet werden. Also auch das ist Teil dieser ganzen das beste Team, das hier die meisten Medaillen abgeräumt hat. Und da gab es einige Nationen, die sehr, sehr gut unterwegs waren, aber eine war noch eine Titel dominanter. Als der Rest, Österreich hatte insgesamt 4 Medaillen. Zweimal Gold, Uschik und Schubert. Aber wie gesagt, der Rest klärt jetzt da auf der Bühne. Taufik mit euch.
Auf unserer Bühne herzlich willkommen heißt dazu, dürfen wir stellvertretend für den slowenischen Kletterverband, den Headcoach Boras Renk begrüßen. Slowenien ist, im Zweifelsfall auch wenig überraschend, die beste Nation in den vergangenen Tagen beim Klettern gewesen. Sie konnten nur die 24 Medaillen genießen in der vergangenen Woche. Da 5 mit nach Hause nehmen, 3 davon alleine durch Janja Garnett, die alle Frauenbewerbe für sich entscheiden konnte. Knapp dahinter Polen mit 4 Medaillen, die alle aus den Speedbewerben kommen. Ja, und Österreich jetzt auch mit 4 Medaillen ganz nah dran an der Spitze. Herzlichen Glückwunsch, congratulations to Slovenia.